Do you have a great idea for a podcast? Or maybe you already have a podcast, but you're getting overwhelmed with editing or production? Head over to EndeavorPodcastSolutions.com. They have everything you need, from intros and outros to editing work, voiceover, you name it. That's EndeavorPodcastSolutions.com. Podcasting simplified.
This week, I want to take a minute and acknowledge the hard work the three of us have put into this show. It's been challenging promoting ourselves and seeking to expand. For a long time, it felt like we were going nowhere, moving an immovable object, trying to stop an unstoppable force, or like wrestling a bear. Tonight we finally made something happen. We conjured enough black magic, as if it ran through our veins like we were the sons of sorcerers, fueled by IPA courage to finally get some talent on the show. So much talent, it feels like an avalanche of music ability crashing onto our show, and it sounds excellent. This week on Needless to Say, we're very excited to introduce members of the band Empyrean Lights. But before we talk about their music, I need the maestro to hit mine.
Welcome back to Needless to Say. It's a metal episode, so I'm here with Morbidly Obese and Napalm Breath.
For once, I'm happy that I'm obese. I'll take fat any day over stinky.
Agreed.
In fact,
Agreed.
Dibs on morbidly obese.
Yeah.
Those were some chunky riffs, Dave.
Yeah.
God, I hate Brad and love him at the same time.
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
What the fuck is going on? We have a fucking week ahead of us, huh?
Yeah,
do.
we do. We got a great show ahead of us.
But we need to go into the ridiculous shit that is our lives first.
Well, I'm going to lead off with this one because
Please do.
Well, that makes sense. The biggest pile of shit usually gets smelled first.
it's the first one in the way. You know?
Yeah, that's right.
This week, it was on and off work. Well, I'm getting into that time of year where there's on and off work. You know,
After the holidays.
Yeah, it's after the holidays, so not everybody wants to get their floors done. And then
There's no rush to get it done right now.
There's no rush to get it done.
Yeah.
And then none of that. So the weather's bad. It's either raining or snowing. So people are like, oh, well, I'd rather wait until.
Well, if you think about, like, if I'm getting my floors done, I don't want to be out of my living room or whatever room for a couple days when I can just be sitting there in my fucking sweatpants, eating chicken wings and drinking beer and just wiping my hands on my pants.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we go through that, and it happens about this time every year, and so it slows down. So you're not making as much money, and then it works out perfectly because then you get your truck engine light just starts flashing, and it runs like shit, and you have to buy a new truck.
Wow, even your truck has high cholesterol.
Yep. We went through the past 3 days. The truck started running a little rough. We're like, all right, let's get it fixed.
Yeah.
So we brought it to the garage, and the guy's like, well, I don't know. He's like, you might need to do this, do that. And I'm like, well, hold on. If it's going to be that much money, you know? And then it's just gotten worse. Over the past 3 days, it's like so bad.
Is it loud or is it driving
awful?
awful?
No, it's driving awful and loud. And it got to a point today where Adam dropped me off at my car.
Yeah.
Like, no, you know, we usually meet at Jimmy Stewart's.
Yep.
And then we go and do our jobs. He's like, can you follow me home?
It's like the equivalent of like leaving your parents' house and they stay in the door until you drive out of eyesight.
Yeah. And it was so bad, and we decided we have to buy another truck.
Yeah.
So now
I hear Brad has a Jeep for sale.
Yeah. Let me get on that.
It's very towable.
It'll take you from Brad's to Brad's in no time.
We can put it. We can put it in the back of our van and have them just tow it together all at once. It'd be perfect.
It's a bad week.
Yeah, bad week. Yep.
Wow, and it's not Adam's fault.
No,
I'm
No,
impressed.
no. So let's call that progress.
Yeah.
Dave?
My week's been rather uneventful, other than my wife and the 2-year-old both being sick, which means I'm doomed. Which
Yes.
means you two are fucked also.
Yes.
You've been here for 3 hours.
It is a petri dish of shit.
Yeah, and it's not like last weekend where we could pop open the windows and get some fresh air in the house. It's 12 outside.
It is fucking cold
And
out.
the wind's blowing, making it feel like 7.
Yeah, and it's making me regret all the making out that we do.
Chapped lips, chapped other things. It's awful. There's not enough chapstick in the world.
Actual current temperature is, the steady current temperature is 15.
Yes.
Yeah, and the wind's blowing, which I'm guessing probably around 10.
And the steady current dress here is chaps.
Yeah.
It says feels like 4.
But I gotta tell you guys, I was thinking about this almost a year ago when I first started with you guys. We were talking about our new year and how we spent it.
Yep.
And I told you guys that I spent my new year watching Dr. Pimple Popper. Now, there's another kind of spin-off show that we've discovered. And I say we, 'cause I'm saying my wife and I, because we both watch it, called My Feet Are Killing Me.
Oh, I saw the fucking commercial for this.
There are 2 foot doctors, one on the West Coast, one on the East Coast, that they're following. And they're looking at rare cases of foot issues with people. And it's, I'm going to quote Leon Phelps, the ladies' man, it's disgusting.
Dude, there's nothing more I hate than feet. You're gonna ask my wife. I'm like, why do they show her feet? Like, if I'm looking at like fucking Sports Illustrated, I'm like, just cover her feet with sand. Like, I'm like, oh, look at that. I'm like, why do I have to see her feet?
Put her feet in that grouper's mouth.
Yeah.
But feet don't bother me.
What's crazy is that everything you guys just described is what Fran asked for with his balls.
Yeah.
Like, bury him in sand.
But for me, it's not like feet don't bother me in general.
Yep.
What it is, like I started watching that Dr. Pimple Popper. I get fascinated.
When it looks like a fucking elephant ear with fucking nails on it.
No, listen, I can see.
It's a little fucking gross.
Leave Ray Liotta out of this.
Yeah.
Listen. Gross shit doesn't bother me. What gets me is, like, they show surgeries and there's like bone on bone shit. That fucking freaks me out.
Oh, I'm with it.
Listen, I almost stormed out of the bedroom with all the sheets wrapped over my face and down the stairs because she wanted to watch the whole episode. I was like, I can't.
See, I can watch the surgery part.
I can watch someone pull a 7 to 10 pound lipoma out of a guy's shoulder, but I can't watch surgery on a little toe because I see bones and I can feel the sounds that's happening. It's the bone on bone, like that grinding, the thought of it or the sound or like that's what gets me. I can watch surgery, doesn't bother me. It's when they get to the point where they start like scraping bones, bugs me.
Jesus.
Right, Brad's freaking out. I can see bone cutting. Like they could take the tools and I can see bone. Like that's different. Like that's surgery to me. It's when they start like rubbing joints and like that fucks me up. I can't. Nope. No, thank you. Pass.
No, I know there's certain things like that. I mean, like I said, blood and stuff like that. I see watching my friend break his leg completely in half. I mean, complete like an L.
Oh,
right? And I'm just like, oh shit,
that's gonna hurt. Yeah,
that sucks so bad right now. Someone's gonna go get your parents.
Yeah. Like I get that. Actually, I got my hand. My hand got caught under a push lawnmower once and got hit by the blade. You've seen my yard; it's terraced. So I was in a rush when I was trying to beat the sunset. So I cut the front. I was like, oh, I gotta pick it up and move
3 hours earlier
right
than fucking here.
But I finished a level. I gotta pick up the lawnmower and put it on the next, which is only 2.5 feet up.
Yeah.
But I was in such a rush. I put my hands under the lawnmower instead of just grabbing my fingers went too far and went under the blade cover.
Yep.
And the blade hit my fucking pinky.
Yeah.
And the blade went right down to the bone. I was like, boom. I heard it. And I was like, that's not good.
Yeah, you can tell.
Put the lawnmower down and put my hand out, and it was like European Vacation. It was just like blood gushing. You know what I mean? And as I'm standing there, I looked at it, and I was like, that's not good.
Yeah.
I walked in the garage. I got a towel. I tied it up, and I calmly walked upstairs, and I was like, I need to go to the emergency room. And we went. But if I saw someone else having their bone hit by something, I'd probably be passed out sleeping.
Yeah.
Now, wait. An important side note. The emergency room is a mile down the street. As I'm on my way there, I called my neighbor and said, hey, I'm going to the emergency room. Can you grab my lawnmower and put it in the driveway? And he says, David, there's no lawnmower out front. I was cutting my grass the night before trash night. Someone thought I left it outside to be thrown away. So some fucking greenhorn came by and said, hey,
I'm taking this.
Not only is this lawnmower still hot, it's covered in fresh blood. I'm going to take it. They must not want this.
They don't want this. It's near the garbage.
So for months after this, my friends would call me up and be like, hey, I just saw some greenhorn on Pawtucket Avenue with a lawnmower. You want me to stop him?
Yeah.
So not only did I lose the feeling in my pinky for 3 months, I lost my lawnmower.
Yeah, that sucks.
But it's the, like you said, it's knowing what that would feel like. Not seeing it or hearing it. It's like, I know, like the bone on bone, there's a grinding and there's a sensation to it. That's what gets me.
I think sometimes, like, I watch, like, new guys, like, coming in and installing carpet, and I'm watching them use the carpet, like a carpet knife or a utility knife. And I'm like, oh, and they're like so like reckless with it. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, and I put my hands, I make fists and put my hands in my pockets, like, and I'm looking at them like, because I know I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna fuck themselves up so bad.
They're gonna get hurt and ruin that carpet.
Yeah. Yes.
I feel like what's his nuts from the Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Just let it happen.
Yeah, you
Well,
like the sense.
But you
I had
almost have to.
I had a kid cut. He was a friend of mine. He cut himself working with me.
Yeah.
And I seen it coming. And the second he cut himself, he was standing over the carpet, and he just looked at me like with this, like, oh, I cut myself, and I kicked him off of the rug.
Don't ruin the carpet, asshole!
I with my foot. I didn't like kick him. I like shoved him with my foot, like off of the fuck.
That's $2,000 of material. Get off of it.
Get the fuck off this. Like,
Go play it on the plywood.
Yep. He's like, I cut myself. I'm like, I know, you're fired. But yeah, he's like, "Are you fucking serious?" Because I like shoved him on my foot. He's like, "Are you fucking serious?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm serious." Fuck off the carpet, man. What the fuck? Ruin this shit. Okay, I'll bring you to the fucking medical center, but
It ends there.
Yeah, it ends there. I ain't fucking paying for everything. Like,
Oh my god. But some things you have to let happen. Like, you gotta let them figure shit out, but something like that, no.
no.
That's the whole job ruined.
Yeah.
Not just, like, you don't lose, like, 15 minutes.
No, I seen it coming. As soon as he did it, I was like, oh, he did it. I'm like, oh. And immediately in my brain, like, it was just instinct. It was like, oh, like, get off.
Yeah.
Like, boom, get off the rug.
Like, if he's not using, like, the knee kicker the right way or something, like, all right, let's let him figure this out. But no, he's about to ruin all the material.
Everything.
Yep.
It's so fucking funny. Actually, he wants to come on the show at some point. Yeah, he's a friend, one of my oldest friends. He does want to come on the show at some point. He actually said to me,
What do you call him, Stevie Nine Fingers?
Yeah, no, the best is he said to me, he goes, you know what? He goes, I never realized how dumb I was until I worked for you.
If that guy tells me I'm an idiot, I did something wrong.
Oh my god, it's like the mantra of this show.
Because all I did was completely tell him he was stupid. He goes, I never realized how stupid I was until I worked for you. It's like, everything he did was stupid.
Was your response, "You're welcome"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might be the perfect guest, but I feel like we got a better one tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
But before we get to them, Brad, you haven't told us much about your week.
My week sucked.
You still working? You still have a job?
Believe it or not, yes.
With the same company?
Amazing.
Nice.
Amazing.
That's
Cartwheels
sweet.
all around.
Yay!
That's sweet.
I also want to thank you, sons of bitches,
Uh-oh.
for an absolutely amazing birthday.
Oh, your
Great
birthday.
weekend.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing birthday. We went to Canned Heat Brewery.
In Fall River.
No, it was-
Everybody that showed up for my birthday, I fucking love you.
It was a fun time.
It was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
I have to say, I had all elements of my life. Bus stop people, podcast people, cycle people,
Yep.
all these different elements of my life. Everybody kind of came together and showed up and had an absolutely amazing time.
The whole band cycle showed up. Well,
Yeah.
except Joe couldn't.
Joe couldn't make it.
Joe couldn't make it. He was busy.
And by the way, Joe's my favorite.
He used
but
to
I
be
mean-
mine.
all those guys showed up. It was awesome, like support, like by those guys too. You know, it was just a lot of fun.
It says a lot.
It does.
It was a
Says a
good
lot.
time with good people.
Yeah.
Yep.
But my
no,
birthday was a badass
It was a
fucking
great.
birthday.
It was a fucking
It was fun.
lot of fun.
Now,
And I'd rather focus on the people that were there than those who weren't.
The
but
brewery was a good place. I had never heard of it. Brad mentioned it had some good reviews, and good beer. So we head down, and it was deceiving because we got down there and it looked like we were turning into a private marina.
yes.
Yes.
It's like, there was a sign, Canned Heat Brew. So we took a right,
I took it. Yeah.
and I was parking between dry docked yachts and boats.
Yeah.
So I ended up parking
Yeah.
next to a picnic table and a dinghy.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is this? As soon as I turned the corner, I'm like, oh my God. This is a fucking yacht club. I took the wrong. I'm thinking I missed something.
I had the same thought.
And then all of a sudden I look, I'm like, oh no, wait, there's a fuck. It's people drinking beer right there.
Yeah. So
By
it was
the way,
weird.
Dave has never turned away from a dinghy.
never.
No.
Nope. My wife never gets in one.
Place is awesome.
It was a great place. My favorite part of that day, though, was a day or maybe two later, we were talking back on our chat about the gastrointestinal issues
my
we were
God.
having. Like, we were all having, like, floral hoppy farts for days.
And
And it wasn't just the three of us. When one of us mentioned it, the other two piled on.
As soon as
and then threw Manny into it. Like, oh yeah, Manny just texted me that he's blowing out his daughter's house in his house. Next
you
to
were
it.
talking, Brad said something, and I was like, dude, I'm farting like it's my job
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, my house smelled like a florist that lost power 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Like, it got to the point where my 2-year-old was like, "Daddy's feet stink."
Yeah.
She just said it. My shoes were on. Daddy's feet stink. I was like, oh, I got called out by a 2-year-old. Yep. Daddy needs a cleanse.
I inflated my grill cover and it blew away.
It was good beer. It was potent.
I
think is the
feel
right
like
word.
they should rename the place just, windy canned heat.
Maybe
Right.
just uncanned heat. That's what it felt like. It was just like,
But speaking of canned heat, we did something this week. We talked to an incredible band, Empyrean Lights.
Yeah.
Great group of people. We had a fucking shitload of fun with them.
yeah, we did.
And
Now we're saying past tense, like we just
finished
talking to them.
and actually, I'd like to, because I know he loves this, I'd like to tip my cap
yes.
to Dave. Because honestly,
Yeah.
this interview wouldn't have happened
No, it wouldn't have.
if it wasn't for you.
Yep.
And I will in turn tip my cap to our friends Matt and Kayla, who I
Yeah.
met when I was in Texas, and introduced us to their friends. So they are friends with Krysta and Dan from the band Empyrean Lights, as Craig mentioned. And when I was down there, it was just happenstance. I met
Yeah.
Matt and Kayla out for dinner, and these two were out with them. And we got talking, and we they asked about, hey, are you with the podcast? And I was like, as a matter of fact, I am.
Yeah.
It started our conversation, and we got talking, and they're putting out some new music. So we said, hey, let's get together,
Let's get it. Yeah.
talk about your music, come on the show, and they were all about it. So tonight we made that happen.
Well, especially the fact that when you initially said it, you realize Empyrean Lights, they're former members of I Wrestled a Bear Once.
And when they
Underground
started
Metal Band.
describing the music, I jumped on our chat that we continue, and I was like, "Hey, have you guys heard of this band?"
And Brad knew
before I
immediately.
put my phone down. He's like, "Yes, Caps," and
Yep.
I ended up at that point being the intermediary between Brad
Yes.
and Dan and Krysta, and talking about. So it just kind of snowballed from there, and we had I will say this, the distinct pleasure of spending 2 hours with
Absolutely.
them tonight, talking about everything from music to bullshit that we usually talk
Yeah.
about on this show.
Exactly.
And by the way, Krista and Dan, my horns are up.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Fuck these other two.
Yep. And you know what? Without further ado, here it is.
So, all right, well, welcome back to Needless to Say. We are here with some of the members of the band Empyrean Lights. We're here with Daryl and Krysta.
Hello.
So welcome, guys. Thanks for being on the show with us.
Thanks
It's
for
great to
having
be
us.
here.
I was told to call you Daryl.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Our
Only
mutual-
my friends call me Daryl.
Yeah, all right, so I'll go with Dan.
Yeah.
All right. We're almost there.
All
We're
right.
almost there.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm hoping by the end of the show I can call you Daryl.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Once you hear about the cock story.
Yeah, you got to hear the cock story first.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
I feel like all the podcasts we do
Yeah,
start
what a
out
great
like
place
this.
to start, Krista.
yeah.
Why don't you just bring us on in?
Yeah.
So
What better way
we
to
were
start
on-
a show than cock?
Yep.
all right. So long
Dark
story
cock,
short, we were on tour and I wrestled a bear once. We were driving from, was it Utah? No. Yeah, Salt Lake City, Utah. And we had a show in Colorado. Well, you have to like literally drive through this stretch of highway called I-80. All right. So these southern motherfuckers don't know how to drive through a goddamn snowstorm. So I'm like, just pump the brakes. You're fine. I would just pump the brakes. So they're driving through, right? And we get,
Who was driving?
you were.
Exactly.
You were.
The
All right. You
safest
did good. You
motherfucker
did
in
good,
the
kid.
van.
You did good. So
Yeah.
fucking no joke. Like we get stuck like in a like Laramie, Wyoming, you know, Laramie, Wyoming, which they hung gay people in Laramie, Wyoming. It's
Last
terrifying.
week, right?
Yeah, last
Week,
Yeah.
tomorrow,
I mean,
today, it probably just happened like an hour ago.
Probably happened while we were there.
Yeah, but I think his name was like Matthew Shepard. Back in the day, they actually
Is that where that was?
because
That was
he
in
was
Laramie?
gay.
Yeah. It was,
Laramie, Wyoming, one of the worst, creepiest places you'll ever be, and we couldn't get to our Colorado show.
So how'd the show?
So it was, yeah, exactly.
It was
We're
great.
like, we're
We weren't
sorry.
there.
They closed all the
was
roads
better.
down. We can't get out of this fucking shitty town where they hate everybody. So, so like we
But the
got.
hotel we stayed in did have a banging hot tub.
So okay, we stayed in this like hotel, and it had this like hot tub. So we're like, well, let's just go to the liquor store, pick up a bunch of Sailor Jerry's, and party, and eat continental breakfast because we're poor, you know. So we're all like in the hot tub, just drinking Sailor J, and then there's Daryl. He's like just in like the corner of the room, and I'm just doing my thing, you know.
So we had gotten out of the hot tub.
That's what I just said.
Okay.
And we got out of the hot tub. Daryl goes, "Don't look. It's like a car wreck.
Why do you
Don't
say
look."
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
can't
look.
say don't look?
Oh yeah. The funny
Thank
thing
you.
is, I said, okay. I didn't say don't look. I said, okay, nobody look.
Doesn't matter.
That's
It's
worse.
like a car
That's
wreck.
worse.
And nobody. The funny thing is, no one looked.
It's like you're on the
Except
Cross Island
Krista.
Expressway.
If
You
I was
look,
there, I would have looked, dude.
Exactly.
Sorry.
And you would have caught. And you would have caught two.
and there it
eyes full
is.
of dark
And I just
green.
go, oh! I go, oh! And I go, and I'm drunk as shit. And I'm like, but why is it so dark? You know? Why is it so dark? Because he's so blonde and blue-eyed and Nordic beyond belief.
Perfect Aryan specimen.
He's like Hitler. He's like Hitler's wet dream. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, why? It's just so dark around the region. And so
Wait, I'm sorry. Where was it dark again?
in his Netherlands.
Okay, all right, I need the visual. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His Netherlands. In the Netherlands,
That,
right?
that part there. I got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Was he choking it with some of Laramie's famous rope?
Possibly.
Yeah,
our merch,
darling, I call that the Laramie hanger.
Yeah.
That's the merch hanger right
Right.
there. So our merch guy Eli goes, Dark Cock Daryl. And we just rolled with it. And he started to become Daryl because on the road we were starting to call him like our guitarist John would call him, and he'd get really drunk, like Daryl Strawberry. Daryl
Yeah.
Daryl.
I had so many nicknames.
Yeah,
you know,
Devil
it was-
Daryl,
it
Dark
was
Cock Daryl,
Dark Cock Daryl, Daryl Strawberry.
I would have called you
Daryl-
Donnie Darko.
And honestly, I thought
So-
Dark Bag Daryl
Yeah.
would have. I mean, it's
See, that-
Texas, for God's sake.
And so that's how he got the name Daryl. Like, and then Dark Cock Daryl. So we used to call him like DCD.
Yeah.
Abbreviate the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But that's how it happened, and like it scarred me for years. And so now we are together, and like now I'm just like, still dark. I don't understand.
Now you
how.
can check it. You can check it out and try to find an explanation, like a
Right.
scientist, like looking at, it, like really examine it.
Bill Nye would even be able
There's
to
got to be
figure it
some
out.
sort of medical explanation here. I just can't figure
Yeah,
it
Bill
out.
Nye needs to come and look
Bill
at
Nye
it.
does need to check me
Yeah.
out.
It's called bruising.
Yeah.
It's called penis abuse.
It's domestic penis abuse.
Yeah.
So does he use that to his advantage, like in the shadows? Does he like stealth fuck you?
He just comes out in the night and you see
Not
blue
yet,
eyes,
but
and
I
like there
will
he is,
now.
Hitler's wet dream.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like up in the corner of the room. It's gonna
Yeah.
be all dark.
Yeah, exactly. And you just see darkness. It's like the darkness.
Darkness.
Doc, man.
I mean, I guess everybody, because it's so shadowed down there, for everybody doesn't get sunlight down there. No vitamin D,
Yeah.
So
Well, it sounds like he's got plenty of vitamin D.
Oh, I got some vitamin D.
he's got plenty of vitamin D. It's so tan.
Oh my God.
You look like you went to Jamaica. Wait a while.
That's little does you know that's like the only part of my body that I actually tan. I go on a regular basis.
I was going to say, you use the glory hole backwards.
Yeah.
I go to the special tanning bed.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Just lay my dick in it and close it.
I was
Just
gonna,
keep it
Like a
down.
George Foreman grill.
yeah.
Exactly. It's like a panini.
panini press.
I was gonna say, if Krista starts getting a dark bikini line, I'd go see a doctor.
Yeah.
You might need a
That's what I'm
cream.
saying.
Yeah.
Bring me on that OBGYN.
So the funny thing is, now interview's been going for roughly 10 minutes, and the only thing we've learned about you is that he's got a dark dick.
That's
Which
all
is,
you need to know, buddy.
It's like-
That's it. We're totally fine with it.
well, we're telling them they're in a band,
Yeah,
but
you
I
are in
think
a
we're
band.
giving
Yeah.
them a bad idea of what to expect on stage.
Yeah.
You should do like the Beetlejuice impression where he's like, well, I graduated from
Oh,
with Harvard
Oh, yeah, I attended acting
attended
class in Juilliard.
in Juilliard, and then
Graduated from Harvard.
I have a dark cock, and then I
Just throw that in randomly in job interviews.
exactly what you should do.
You guys realize we have 19 minutes of sound bites already.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
This is
you
great.
just promote your first show. Like, come see Empyrean Lights, the 2-hour windmill contest.
Exactly.
It's like a death clock where Murderface is based with his dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Play my guitar with my dick the whole time.
There you go.
We're gonna do a breakdown, a dick breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice.
All right. Well, we'd probably be remiss if we didn't let you guys introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about Empyrean Lights. Tell us who you are, and tell us what you're all about.
Well, I'm Dark Cock Daryl.
Yeah, we got that.
That's
We've already
that's
got
already
t-shirts
a
made
given.
So for all the women still listening to the
Yeah.
show, we've lost
Yeah.
everybody else.
Oh, he's got a dark cock. My idea, man.
If you want to keep listening to Needless to Say, please send $2.50 a minute to
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
come pay for our Patreon stream.
I love how he said stream.
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
Noise.
You did. That was good.
My real name is Daniel.
Is that your real name?
It's
No.
that is my Christian
When I'm
name.
mad at you, I call you Daryl.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, you get
My God
Daryl.
damn it, Daryl. God damn it.
Yeah.
Wow.
When she's mad, I get called Daryl, that's for sure. When
I call
she's-
you D a lot, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
But
I mean, me and Mim call you D.
it's fitting.
Okay.
Based on the previous
So-
11
so
minutes,
who
that
are
makes
you?
sense.
So my name is Krysta.
My name's
Hi.
Krista.
I feel like you guys should have name tags. Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Krysta.
What's my name that you made up for me? Special K.
Special K.
Special K. All right.
I don't know if he was trying to make me feel bad about myself or if he was naming me after the cereal
Make you feel bad.
because I'm super cereal.
Oh my God.
I just wanted you to know you were special.
Thanks. I appreciate you, bro.
You're special, girl.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
And Mim's not here. My sister Mim. She lives in Florida. She lives in St. Pete, so she couldn't join us tonight. She would have been able to Skype through, but
Right.
And so it's just the three of you in the band?
yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
Nice.
Correct.
tell us
Yeah.
what you guys do in the band.
Yeah, who just because when I first met you guys, we were at a taco place and Daryl told me he did everything and you were just there to get people in the seats.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Okay.
I
She's
just
the
used
face.
I wrestled a bear once.
That's right. He said I put the
she's the
pretty face
face.
up front and I do all the work behind the stage.
I just used I wrestled a bear once.
Yeah.
I'm that chick.
I said, actually, what I said to you, Dave, was, look at this. Do you think anyone would want to see this?
Bear me, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Wow, you just got shut down
I
quick.
fucking love it.
Zach.
Yeah.
Zach.
Yeah, I sing.
I know my place.
He does sing too, but he also I'm gonna cut up a line, by the way.
Yeah.
He
Careful.
pretty much does a lot of the work here. Me and him just add some flavor, you know.
Well,
Nice.
I've seen some of the short clips you guys have posted, and I've seen Daryl, Dan. What I'm going with Daryl.
Yeah.
Oh, Daryl,
I'm going with
We're
Daryl.
friends. We're friends now.
you're
All
friends.
right,
now.
all right. We've made it to Daryl level.
Yeah.
So, but I've seen a lot of clips of you playing guitar. I know in Iwabo you were on the keyboards, so I know you do a lot of that stuff. But I guess what Brad was asking too is what do you all do collectively? And I know you said you and Mim add flavor. What kind of flavor are you adding on top of that?
He'll be like, you need to do it like this. I'm like, fuck no, motherfucker. I'm gonna do it like this.
It brings that New York intensity.
And
Yeah.
so does Mim. Mim's like, no way, man. I'm gonna bring some like hard notes in
And then
and
I
my
say-
flavor. Because my sister, she's like a musical genius. This girl like pretty
Sure.
much could have been in Juilliard. She's played trumpet her entire life. She can read and sight read music. This girl, my sister, I'm kind of jealous of her. She can be like, she could pick up any instrument and play it.
That's
so
awesome.
my sister comes in, she's like, actually, let's add this. But she really doesn't do that. She's
Wow,
like,
what was that note?
let's add this right now.
He also plays bass.
Yeah.
She can pretty much play everything. So you hand something to her, and she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this. She just has a musical ear.
So
Yeah.
when you guys are laying down tracks and you're writing songs, do you take certain roles or do you all just kind of listen to it and offer opinions on different elements of the songs? I'm just curious. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
So with the first two songs that we've released right now, man, I actually wrote these songs. Oh God,
Years ago.
5 years ago now, and you know I just kind of had them. You know, they're sitting on the shelf, and they don't sound anything like they do currently. They were just like rough ideas, you know.
Yep.
They were complete songs, you know. And I was like, man, you know, I can really hear some like great vocals, you know, with this. And like honestly, I was like, I could hear, you know, Krista's vocals on them, and I was like, but you know, she's in Iwabo still, you know.
Not 5 years ago.
Well, so it was so it's been over 5 years.
It's been about 7 years now.
Okay, even longer. You know, my sense of time is it's.
well, I understand.
slipping.
You're from Louisiana. Numbers are tough.
It happens.
I don't read so good.
They don't understand numbers
You
and
know,
time.
I don't
Hey,
math.
Daryl, let him know that he's a Clemson fan. Football's tough, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Football games is hard too.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Honestly, you couldn't have laid out
I
a
know.
red or orange carpet better than you just did right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I already gave him shit the other night.
You
I
did.
gave him shit
Nice.
last.
All right, so I got to say, we're burying the lead a little bit. We're talking about Awaba, we're talking about Empyrean Lights and what you guys do in it, but why don't you explain what Empyrean Lights is and then maybe go into a little bit of the backstory about I Wrestled the Bear Once. I'm the admitted metalhead in this crew, and I have a few questions about I Wrestled the Bear Once before I put that to bed, but why don't we let you guys put in your words first?
Well, so, like I said, I had these songs, from 7 years ago. Jesus. And I could really hear, some good vocals, and I was like, man, I think Krysta's voice would be really good. So I just kind of hung on to him, and like Krysta, just ended up leaving the band. And she and I were really good friends, before the band, in the band. And so when I found out that she wasn't in the band anymore, I was like, hey, we kind of rekindled the friendship, and found out she was living in Texas, and I was like, well, man, you're not that far away. Like, I've got some songs, like, you want to try to do some music together. And so we started working on, some of these songs, which I have a couple of others from that time period that we plan on releasing as well. And so we just kind of started working, and decided to kind of create a band, around it. At first, we took the name Empress, and we kept that for what was like a year or so.
Yeah, about a year or so.
But I mean, Krysta had a son, I had a daughter, and our lives were just like really chaotic, especially not being anywhere. I mean, we were 3 hours away, so
yeah,
it was tough to kind of keep it going, and so we kind of put it on hold for a little bit. Once the kids got older, then we kind of looked at each other and said, hey, let's, I really think we can make a run with this. Like, let's see what we can do. And so we still had this like music. And we're like, let's try to make something of it. And so at that point, we started looking at the name, and there was actually another band at the time.
There's a metal band called
Empress. There was a metal band named Emperor.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah,
exactly.
Fuck them.
See, that's what we said too. But that's what her and Mim said, and I was like, I said, man, we gotta change the name.
No, first of all, you're better off because that band sucks out loud. Secondly,
you speak from experience.
I know my shit.
Brad knows. Brad knows more than I've worked with this guy for years. That was ridiculous. His knowledge of music blew me away. And then I met Brad, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I actually introduced them together, and we went to an Iron Maiden concert together. And I was in the car just fucking. Thought I was gonna fucking die. I was driving. They would not shut the fuck up for an hour drive. Just correcting each other. That was the worst part.
The conversation was actually really short.
Yeah.
They were just correcting each other about the first topic.
They were talking about bands that haven't left the town they lived in. I was like, what? How in the fuck did you hear that?
The internet's insane. A wonderful place.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad knows bands
that just don't get the respect they deserve.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, he knows bands that no one's ever heard of before, but knows a lot about them. So
I like a lot of underground stuff, and I always have. And so when Dave was down in Texas, and he's like, "Yeah, have you heard of I Wrestled the Bear Once?" Fuck yeah, I have.
Yeah.
And
that chick came out in a Furby costume.
I may have missed that show.
Yeah.
I wore a Furby costume in an interview one time.
You did.
That's awesome.
It was in a men's room stall too.
All right. Well,
Did you really dress up in Slipknot masks?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
I saw the video.
I
saw that video. Yeah.
We covered "Sick" by Slipknot.
Yep.
We did it on Halloween. We're like, everybody's dressing up for Halloween and doing this and that on the tour package. Let's come out as Slipknot. So we did it, and it was funny as fuck. And I mean, I love Slipknot. I just saw them back in the summer. Fucked up my ankle because I'm getting in the pit. I want to rage.
She is telling the truth. Ever since then, she has had what she has coined the term Slipknot ankle.
It's
The
called
goddamn
Every now and
Slipknot
then
ankle.
it starts acting up, and she's like, "Oh, my Slipknot ankle."
Yeah, but that's what happens when you're 35 and alive, you know?
yeah.
Oh, fuck. Oh, we're looking at 30 in the rearview mirror, pumpkin.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it happens. So
I got Slipknot ankle getting out of bed this morning.
that's how you should call it. Like just call it that from now on. Oh, my neck, I got Slipknot
Oh, I
problem.
got Slipknot neck.
Fuck,
I got that Bacchiatus. Bacchiatus.
I slipped a knot because I ate too much meat yesterday.
Yeah.
I was sweating really
I got
bad
the
when I
meat
went to bed.
Slipknot sweats.
Slipknot sweats.
All right, so I mean, we're going to actually lead into this segment playing a little bit of your music from Empyrean Lights, but it's a huge stylistic departure from what you guys did in I Wrestled a Bear Once. I mean, it's a tremendously different kind of band. And so I kind of want to know what brought you here compared to I Wrestled a Bear Once, which was more of I'm going to really generalize it, and I don't mean to, but it was always a kind of like a complex, really heavy band with a hell of a lot of humor. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, and that's one of the things I loved about you. So why don't you talk a little bit about the music you're making now and how you got there from doing something so heavy, and I say this with all the respect in the world, but kind of ridiculous at times. I mean, it was really all over the place, and I loved it. I really loved it.
With I Wrestled a Bear Once, like there were so many bands doing the same fucking thing, and like we didn't want to do the same fucking thing, and okay, so I had a band back in New York called This Year's Addiction, and Steven and John from I Wrestled a Bear Once had a band called Statues Cry Bleeding back in Louisiana, and they were funny. We were kind of funny, but more metal. You know, we took ourselves a little bit more seriously, but at the same time, like we covered like Rock Lobster, and then like actually brought out a lobster and sacrificed it to the gods. You know, like this is the truth. Like and then we'd have
And
our
then
alter ego
Statues,
called Spider Corpse.
I would say Statues.
Well, we
was
became
more
metal
like,
and drunk. You know.
And then I would say Statues is probably more like grindcore-ish.
Yeah, Statues is more grindcore. Well, I can't say like This Year's Addiction had a lot of grindcore, but it also had a lot of like Long Island metal, and Long Island hardcore mixed in with it, you know.
Mhm.
And like so,
Oh, like Suffocation.
Actually, This Year's Addiction recorded at Suffocation Studio.
You see?
I said recorded.
Talking about fucking New York.
Yeah, so like
You
we
sound just like
recorded
Frank
with
Mullen.
Suffocation at their studio in Port Jeff, Long Island, and we knew those guys like Terrence and everything, and that was like I was sick as fuck, and we were recording this one song called One Day Older, One Day Closer, and I was sick as shit. And Terrence with Suffocation was like, I'm not gonna say the word because it's the N word, but he's black, so he could say it.
Yep.
But he's like, you be killing. And then it's funny because we played the New England Metal and Hardcore Festival years ago with I Wrestled a Bear Once, and Suffocation was playing, and Terrence saw I Wrestled a Bear Once on stage, and he found me in the crowd. He's like, I knew it. I knew it was you. I knew it was you, Krysta.
Yeah, that's awesome.
For the record, Terrence Hobbs is one of the coolest motherfuckers in metal, period.
And he's amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, his hand has a giant muscle right here from just playing.
Yeah.
Like, so sick. And he's one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet in your entire life. He'll give you the shirt off his motherfucking back. He is a good person. They're all very nice people. They're like kitty cats, like princesses, like Disney princesses, underneath all of their metal godness.
Oh, so
if
you're
that
doing
makes
their
sense.
PR for the next tour?
I am.
I was like, I cannot wait to tag them in this episode when we post it.
Yeah. So
Hashtag
it was
Kitty Cat Princess.
it was an
Kitty Cat
amazing
Princess.
experience for my band back in New York, and it was an amazing experience. But then like we Steven and I from I Wrestled a Bear Once, we got together, and he asked me to move down to Louisiana. I left my band, I left my family, everyone in New York, which was a fucking total culture shock to me.
Oh, I bet.
And
Yeah.
and so and then I was just like, well, here we go. And then they're like, hey, and then John would be like, hey, let's play some crazy shit. Okay, fine, fuck it, let's go. And me being a big fan of like Mike Patton and everything,
Oh, yeah.
I was just like,
there you
I
go.
got this. These time signatures are shit. My grandfather was a jazz musician. I got this shit,
Yeah.
So
I knew a guy once that played jazz. I got this. We'll fuck your
I
shit
got
up.
this shit.
I
got
heard
this
it once
shit.
at my grandfather's house.
Yeah.
Right, and so like we were like, let's make this funny and not like traditional, like every other band. They say the same goddamn thing every night. Hey, what's up, Boston? So and so and so. Hey, what's up, Nashville? And they say the same shit. We're like, well, I just farted. Ricky got sick. He ate too much meat. This song is called "Tastes Like Kevin Bacon." Spirits, and then you just start going off, and that was the beauty of it, is that we never took ourselves seriously, although we did. Our music was our passion, it was our art, but it was our out, but at the same time it was like, why takes life so fucking goddamn seriously? You could die tomorrow.
That makes sense, and it's funny because obviously you're doing it because you enjoy it, you love it, but you just mentioned, like, you brought up "Tastes Like Kevin Bacon." You had a lot of other song titles that didn't make any sense when you listen to the song. Like Thunder Chunky, you had like Corey Feldman, Holocaust, a bunch of those names. Were there any relevance to the lyrics, or were they just out there to catch attention, or was it just like fucking whatever?
Never. They were never like, I'd come to them with some lyrics, and they always gave me the freedom to put whatever I wanted to say down. But I'd be like, let's come out with a title, because we were about like the shock value of not being like, this song is called My Heart Bleeds for This Bitch's Vagina. It's like, it's
Love that song.
It was that humor,
my
not
heart
taking
bleeds. My heart bleeds like this bitch's vagina.
It's not taking shit seriously. Like our bassist at the time, Brian, early, I wrestled a bear once.
You're just gonna keep talking over that, really?
I am.
Just gonna pretend it didn't happen.
I'm used to it. You have to understand. See, that's the thing. Kilo by Wabo too.
I want to hear your story, but that was so good.
Yeah. Why is the song not called "I Love You Every 28 Days"?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm used to it. That's the thing. It's like
it
in
doesn't
one
phase
ear and
her
out the other
anymore.
doesn't phase me.
Yep.
Because I'm the same way. I'll say something and just go whoop.
So it was a conscious decision, though. It was a conscious decision to make song titles that really didn't, like, most people see a song title and they assume, especially in a metal song, that it's going to be the chorus. You know, and you're going to repeat it 4 times and throw your fists in the air, and that's not what goes on in your music. You guys are going to a jazz break, or you did with our Wrestle the Bear one. So what was your thinking behind these song titles?
Well, it kind of, I think, a lot of it is, so Steven and John were the guitarists. I wasn't playing guitar in the band, but, I do play guitar. And that's how I knew John at first.
Sure.
No, so when John and Steven and stuff would write a riff, or like when I write a song now,
this is true. We would name it.
I name it like a placeholder name.
Or something funny.
Just something stupid, so I can remember.
Go fuck yourself. See you and chill. Because we'd be driving on the road. And like some of the times half the song titles were like see you and chill is one of our song titles, is we'd be like literally losing our minds driving late at night, following the tour package, and be like, say man, all drunk, see you in motherfucking Shell, boy. Like, going to Shell gas station. I'll see you in Shell.
Yeah.
See you in Hell. Like, instead of saying see you in hell, or go fuck yourself.
I mean, like, so
I'm fucking wasted. I gotta pull over at the Shell station.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, the
the 2 songs that we have,
Yeah.
they also have ridiculous names, when I wrote them originally.
For the title.
And just,
it was like the
named
fuck
them
around
something
title.
as a placeholder. Now, we, didn't just keep that.
No, but most of the time when we're writing in Iwrestledabearonce, it'll be like, we'll be working on a guitar part, and so maybe like balls or titties too, or put down like Jamie Lee Curtis 3, like something funny, so that we knew what it was.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Is that about balls dropping?
Don't think too much into it.
Don't think,
right?
Just go with the flow.
You have to hear the riff to understand.
So I got a question for Daryl, Dan, Doc Junk.
Don't be scared.
I'm just like trying to.
Don't be scared.
Yeah.
Don't be scared. Embrace the darkness. Embrace the darkness.
No,
I embraced it a long time ago.
I have to.
Chris embraced it last night.
I embraced it last night.
Oh shit!
No, I have I never.
Oh my god, that was a flugelhorn.
It was. Now, like I never really I listened to a lot of different music. Brad was the one who, when he had mentioned I Wrestled a Bear Once, I had never heard it. You know, I had never really heard it, so I listened to it. But then I immediately went to Empyrean Lights because that's where the conversation started. And in all honesty, I just wouldn't say anything if it wasn't the case. I immediately became a fan because it's good. I was blown away by it.
you.
No, it is.
Thank you so much, man.
Your vocals are unfucking believable. I have to say it. I'm not just, blowing smoke because I just wouldn't say it if I didn't think so.
He's
But,
not smart enough to lie.
Yeah. But
Are you from Louisiana too?
He's actually from the Rhode Island version of Louisiana.
yes, exactly. Yeah. But
In Rhode Island, they made him take the Louisiana SAT.
All right.
but
Makes sense.
for Dan, you say you write a lot of you write, a lot of the stuff. So who are your biggest influences?
Look at Krysta looking at him like, say me.
Yeah.
With her dreamy eyes, say me.
Kenny G,
Yeah. Kenny G.
Oh, his curly hair's
George
magnificent.
Michael.
George Michael.
Like when I wrote this stuff, like I guess when I'm like in writing mode, I try to like I don't listen to any music, period. When I'm not working on music, I do listen to just tons of different stuff. I mean, we were just jamming Every Time I Die.
And like Old Thursday.
And Old Thursday stuff.
Yeah.
So,
And then, we listen to a lot of like dance shit and electronic stuff too.
Yeah.
And like most of recently, like
A lot of
Seven
that
Lion.
electronic stuff's really intense.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
like a lot of that. Like, I was into Godflesh as a kid. Were you guys into that stuff?
I've heard of them. I can't place anything by them.
But we heard, remember we went through our 90s thing coming back from Shreveport, we went through a 90s playlist. And I'd play like Marilyn Manson, and he'd play like Our Lady Peace. And I'd be like, Massive Attack. And then we played
Incubus.
Stabbing Westward
Yeah,
and
Stabbing
Incubus.
You guys
And
ever
So,
do
I mean-
Ministry or anything like that?
Ministry, yeah.
Ministry, yeah.
They're describing high school for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Right.
is-
Yeah, that's high
middle
school for us too.
Yeah.
Middle school, high school,
And they made me feel old by
Oh.
saying, yeah, we've heard of
But-
Godflesh.
I have definitely heard of them. I have not
heard
actually
of the
heard
band.
them.
There's this
That's
oldie
the
station
polite
in
way of saying I
Dallas
don't
that
know who the
plays.
fuck
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah, go check out
Yeah,
the
there's this oldie station.
There's this vintage station.
It's
cool.
oldies
So-
techno and
Okay.
Yeah.
Dave, let me answer the question, bro. Jesus.
Shit, I
Oh, that's like my
She's my own
sister's
show.
favorite beer, by the way. She loves that IPA.
Who's that? What?
My sister loves that IPA.
It's
She's
the
like
Highlight?
obsessed with it.
Florida's
yeah,
best,
Highlight.
baby. Florida's
She loves
best.
that
Well-
shit.
Well, then Mim's here in spirit.
Yep.
Yeah, Minster and
Exactly.
Spirit.
We will tell her.
That's her jam.
But so, and then like when people ask me, they're like, ask that question, like, what do you think, your music sounds like? That's always like a real, the hardest question I think that you can be asked. But so,
Let me ask you this.
Actually, let me
Go ahead.
rephrase it because it's not so much like because you have a totally unique sound, and I think it's awesome that you said you try not to listen to anything and you write your own stuff, and it shows because it's different and it's good. But what I was saying, like, what inspired you to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to be a musician. Like, just listened to this and was like, holy shit, I want to do this. This is what I want to do because I heard this,
Oh,
I think the
can I
band
guess?
probably. Go ahead, Dave.
I was gonna guess.
Go ahead.
Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas."
Close.
Exactly.
It was Boys to Men. I'll make love to you.
Yeah.
Damn it! This close. I was off by a year.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you guys could see that, but Craig just drank
pour-
half that beer on his sweatshirt.
I just dumped a whole bunch of beer in it.
His sweatshirt's drunker than he is now.
I love that. I love it.
Well, Krista did that with some salsa.
I did. I was like, it's all over me. I'm a pig. Look at me.
And
Everybody's judging me.
Over margarita.
Bobby Flay. And I spilled my margarita too. It happens.
Just
Which
fuck
they
Bobby
gave her a
Flay all
brand
over the
new
place. Fuck your salsa. Fuck your drinks.
Fuck your life, Bobby Flay.
But this place is amazing.
But this place is great.
Can I have another? Yeah, let's refill that shit.
Fuck your bar. I'll be back on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So anyway, Daryl, what inspired you to get into music?
Yeah.
So I think the band that really inspired me to be like, all right, I want to be this and do this for the rest of my life was Silverchair.
Okay, yeah, Silverchair. Right.
You know what's funny is I'm going to say something. And I get my balls busted. Like, people bust my balls. I loved fucking Silverchair.
They were good.
Who
I
doesn't
fucking
love
thought
fucking
they were
Silverchair?
fantastic.
They were
A
hard
lot of people
16-year-olds.
a lot of people around here busting
They
my
were.
balls. And I was like, dude, these guys are fucking great. Great. And the thing is when they came out, I was like 27. Right?
You are an old motherfucker.
No, I'm 46.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah,
No.
so they were.
No,
16.
I was in my early 20s when they came out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I was like, these kids are fucking good.
Good, yeah.
Because they weren't coming out like bop, zibbity bop. You know what I mean? It wasn't that, you know?
Right?
They
It
looked
was-
like those
They
kids.
looked like those kids, but they
His middle name is actually Hanson because
No, it is not.
Hanson. So he's probably related to the Hanson.
yeah,
That's right.
Oh, he's metal cloth. Look,
That's
he's
right.
handing you the metal horns right
Throwing
now.
your horns for Hanson.
yeah.
Dark
That's right.
Dick Daryl Hansen.
But that's pretty funny because, I mean, not funny, but that really, like, as an influence, like, was it because they were young and they came out and just were like, yeah, that's right, we're fucking kick ass. We're touring with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. People throwing bottles at my head and I'm still playing. And fucking.
No, I mean, it was. I mean, it may have had some to do with their age, but I mean, like, it was the first like music that like I listened to, and I was like, from start to finish,
The
I was just
songwriting.
like, the songwriting,
musicianship was good.
yeah,
It was.
And it's like when I write, you know, I always try to think of way, and like Krysta will attest to this, like,
He's a perfectionist.
I'm most definitely a perfectionist. Like,
It gets annoying.
we could have like the perfect layout for a song, and she, you know, for the song, and she's like, "This sounds great," and I'm like, I really think it's something, you know, like
Wow, I wouldn't know what that's like.
Yeah.
this episode was amazing.
Actually, no, it's
lacking
like
that.
balls.
Sorry, I used one too many fingers. There we go.
But so like I feel like when I write, I try to, you know, keep it, you know, as mainstream as possible, but I always try to put in a layout that's not quite what you hear, you know,
Yep.
in a like radio, like a, I mean, I'm sorry if you guys are like huge Nickelback fans, but you know,
Do
when I
they
think
look
of
like
like,
they'd be Nickelback fans?
when
Fuck
I
the
think
show.
Yeah.
take on Nickelback, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, this
Can you
guy
guys
is
keep
like
talking about
everyone.
Nickelback so he leaves?
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, you guys know what I'm saying. There's like
It's a formula. Yeah.
Yeah.
for radio friendly rock, you know, and it typically is like intro, verse, chorus,
Yeah.
bridge, blah, you know, and like, so if you listen to our stuff, you know, it feels like that's what you're listening to.
But it's not.
But then when you really actually like break it down and you like are analyzing the parts, you're like, wait a minute, like what would I call this part of the song? You know, like it's where a bridge would normally be, but they're kind of like singing a verse or screaming a verse type thing or something, you know. And so like that's just kind of how I've always like looked at stuff, is more, I guess, from a producer
When I
standpoint.
hear your songs, and
That's awesome.
I'm gonna cut everybody off here.
Yeah, he is.
One of the things I really love about the music is it's almost propulsive. Like it starts building towards a crescendo, and then when you get to like the middle of it, and then all of a sudden you just think you know where it's gonna go. It takes a left turn.
It's like edging.
I get the
I just
reference.
got the reference too.
You know, I really wish you weren't making that grip.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that it's not a verse, chorus, verse. I love that it's building towards something, and about halfway through the song, it delivers. And then you get to go back and do it again. And that's one of the things that I took away from the two songs you've released with Empyrean. I really do like it a lot.
Yeah, as you were talking about, like your most recent single, "This Avalanche," that's kind of what it was. I actually listened to it 3 or 4 times before I really was able to digest it, because it was like the the instruments were playing almost like the same pace melody throughout the song, but the vocals and things kind of escalated, and it wasn't a big change in the music. I don't know. It was, as you were describing it, you were describing that song as I heard it.
It was not Nickelback.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And I think that should be the name of the album if we're really going to get into it.
Yeah, not Nickelback.
Actually, when we release our first EP, like I want to call it Greatest Hits Volume 1.
Yeah.
That's genius.
That's fucking brilliant.
Yep.
I
we
love
should tell
it.
Revival that. I'm thinking they'll dig it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Right? That's fucking awesome.
I love it.
That is fucking
I've been
awesome.
holding on to that for years.
Well, this is the band to do it. So listen, because I feel like I'm the metal guy here. If I had to place the sound of Empyrean Lights, I get a little bit of like Nighttime Birds era The Gathering.
Yeah, Nighttime Birds. I can hear you.
And
Yeah.
then In a Reverie,
See that?
Lacuna Coil. I'm getting
Okay.
I'm getting some of that. And then believe it or not, some of the darker vocals are like a little bit black metal. I'm getting that like gargly thing.
I'm gonna burn a fucking church down. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was my goal. I'm always thinking
Like
about
that
burning
whole
down churches.
we left our job at Best Buy to pose in the woods in the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yes.
Nordic cocks in the winter, burning down churches.
That's right.
Yes. Blend. You can't see them at night, so you're gonna.
Hey, by the way, Nordic Carks, none darker.
Yeah.
I think we just named this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also musically, I got to throw this out there, and if I'm wrong, slap me, verbally slap me. A little bit of Catatonia.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Okay, and then believe it or not, some post-hardcore stuff like Bring Me the Horizon.
Is
A
that
little bit of
fucking
that.
bottle
Yeah.
of wine, you fucking prick. Little dark notes in there with some oak.
I'm hearing a
He's
little
just
bit.
like, hold on.
Oh,
Let
it
me
smells a
show
little-
you. Let me show you how smart I am. Hold on.
What a snotty prick. Turn off his microphone.
Snotty
It's number
asshole.
two.
Don't knock on my Long Island boys.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you guys on being on the last episode of the
The other two guys will be murdered in their sleep.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's the Long Island way.
I'm gonna sleep with the goddamn fishes. Any Italians out here?
Oh,
No, but
can't.
I'm the only one.
Just one.
no.
There we go. See, brother, you understand me.
My name ends in a vowel, baby.
the
Don't worry.
funny thing is the ridiculous part is he analyzed like a wine taster.
Yeah.
He heard the song and then went bang, 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 bang.
Because he's Italian.
Because
He gets it. He's describing his Italian heritage.
Because if it was true, it would have just slipped right off.
Yeah.
But,
Well done, sir.
Oh, right on.
Oh, do you know what's beautiful? He doesn't know how dead he is.
yeah.
You're sitting there like,
honestly,
when
I just
we
do
turn
it.
this camera off.
I don't get to do this with these guys.
No, he doesn't.
Because they don't listen to the same stuff that I do. You know, I mean, I hear I wrestled a bear once, and I'm thinking of memories. And these are guys are like, oh, I want to check it out.
Yeah.
And then I hear Empyrean Lights, and I'm like, this sounds like some really cool gothic shit that I really like.
Well, you guys heard that night when we met. I was texting him as we were talking, and he was immediately like looking up, listening. He's like, "Oh my god, this," and Krysta. As soon as you heard The Gathering, she was like, "That's one of my favorite bands." And like,
Oh my God.
I feel like you two had a mutual
I
like
saw
like
them in-
orgasm
I saw
over
them
text.
in New York City.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw him in New York City, and it was fucking incredible. And I was like, my life is made. I'm crying and wet at the same time. I need a beer. Like, how
Wow,
is this possible?
now I need a beer.
Yeah. My whole thing is like I grew up with just a certain group of friends, so we were just listening to certain things, especially at my like Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, then and Maiden and all this stuff, and then of course Slayer, Metallica. This stuff. So Brad didn't have friends, so it was just he just listened to everything.
For the record, I
Music was
still
his
don't. I've never had fewer friends in my life.
He was able to explore more.
But I got to explore my feelings with Catatonia and
Yeah.
The Gathering.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But not a lot of people know The Gathering, you
Like,
know?
The
Like,
Gathering.
it's
She gets me.
You know, The Gathering is an amazing band, and they left. Anarchy left because she had a son named Finn, which is really fucking weird because my son's name is Finn. See, she and I,
Really? See?
we're
Yep.
two souls.
Yeah, the
By the
soul
way,
bond.
I saw the video the night Krista posted of her son singing Slipknot in the living room.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he was. He was like, "Ah!" He was like, and James, Kayla's son, goes, "Ben, stop screaming!"
Like they're
You can
7,
blame
right?
Matt for that. Matt put that on.
6.
They're 6. Yeah,
That's awesome.
You're younger than my son. Yeah.
One of my
James
prize
was not
photos.
having it.
One of my prize photos is with Annika. And I got a photo with her backstage, and it was one of the best moments of my life because it was a
And she's goddamn gorgeous.
and she's well, that didn't hurt. I won't
Yeah.
lie. But I mean,
No.
it was a death metal concert. They
Yeah.
were playing with Immolation, Deceased, and 2 other
Right.
bands.
Exactly. And they come on, and she's like fucking this like bird that's singing, and
you
you're
know
like,
what
oh,
she did?
okay.
She mesmerized a bunch of fucking gearheads for 2 hours.
Well,
is what she did.
It's funny because, like you said, that's why I said I became an instant fan. Is I'm listening, and you hear this scream, this deep metal fucking, and I'm like, nice. And then all of a sudden you hear this fucking voice, and you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like this is gorgeous. You know, it's and then it goes back to it. I mean, I was, like I said, instant fan.
I'm sorry, we're whispering, we're plotting.
They were plotting.
No, it's funny. As Craig was saying that before we started, my wife was down here, who's Kayla's cousin,
Right.
and she was like, let me hear the music that these guys play. So we were playing a couple of your songs, and I was like, that screaming. I'm like, that's Krista. She's like, fuck off. No,
She's
it's
like,
not.
no,
And
it's
then
not.
it's you singing. She's like,
you.
that's not her. I'm like, it is. Come down and ask her later, but she won't.
No, she won't. But
But-
she was like, no, that's not her. Her voice is incredible. She's not doing that.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, yeah, she's like, that's a god, like, you know, like that's a
Yeah.
metal fucking blah. And then she's hearing this very like,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like a lilting voice.
Yes,
Yeah.
that with this range and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
Two different-
Meantime, Daryl's still like, Silverchair? Anybody?
yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah.
What was
Tomorrow,
that one?
everybody-
I'm Israel's son.
Is Pure Massacre?
Pure master.
Yeah.
Your master
it's
is
real,
real
son.
son.
Yep.
Get it out of my head, bro.
Great
Fucking
album.
dig,
Great
bro.
album.
It was. Yeah.
I fucking love that album.
Suicidal Dream was a great song.
Suicidal Dream. Such a
Yeah.
good fucking album.
Dave, I really wish you had more of those.
Wow. Wow. God
Oh shit.
damn it. It's awful. Anyway, so what's next for you guys? So you've put out 2 singles. We're assuming you've got more in the bank, Daryl. You mentioned you've got a couple you've kind of got queued up. So what's next? Are you guys focusing on album, then tour, or are you looking at album and just kind of promoting music? Where do you see this going the next couple of years for you all?
We see it like we're planning on. We have an electronic song that we're planning on releasing, and we're releasing possibly a cover of Dredge, a Dredge cover, and then we're going. Yeah, Dredge.
There you go.
See,
I was
he
just gonna
knows,
say-
he
Gets
gets
it.
it.
I
All
knew
right,
I
you
knew
two-
that, man.
You two can exit. You two can just exit.
I love how
No,
he doesn't say
I
it. He
actually-
just holds up the
when you
chair
said
and just like,
When you said Dredge, I actually knew that, man. I was like proud of myself, but I didn't say anything. I just sat here like, yeah.
And then we get kicked out.
Yeah, and then we got kicked out. Yeah.
Our
Okay,
guests are
okay.
like, leave
You
your
can
own
just
show.
say.
You're dismissed.
Yeah.
and then like we're planning on releasing some more, and then hopefully playing a few live shows here in Texas. That would be great. That's like our biggest thing. We're on a record label right now that is run by Sean from a band called Elisana. They were in the metal hardcore metalcore scene, and they've talked about us possibly doing a few one-off shows here and there. I mean, obviously we can't
Yep.
tour. We're both parents, we're living lives and whatnot, but we're talking about doing a few one-off shows. That would definitely be in our future.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, you mentioned metalcore. I got one question. I wrestled a bear once, Statues Cry Bleeding, Alexis on Fire, Bless the Fall, Sky Came Falling. What do metalcore bands have against space bars?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is that how they spell in Louisiana?
No.
Just a bunch
What
of
do they
letters.
have against normal fonts too?
No,
Yeah.
Actually readable fonts.
Yeah. It's not like black metal looks like a fucking nervous system. Yeah.
It just looks like somebody threw up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name of your band?
All right.
And that's accurate.
Yeah. That's the name of the band.
Looks like a heart monitor of
Well,
someone having a
that's-
stroke.
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, we got our band name from Gary Busey. He actually said, "I wrestled a bear once." If you go on Gary
Really?
Busey, I'm with Busey.
Life with Busey.
Life with Busey, I'm with Busey. He actually says this, and I actually have a picture of me bitch slapping Gary Busey in the face. He
Get outta
came to our show in California. We were good friends with his daughter, Electra.
No shit.
And he came out to our show, and he introduced us on stage, and I was like, I've made it. I've made it.
Yeah.
Arrived.
Right?
I've made it.
So was it
Gary
weird when
Busey.
your hand hit his hand-sized tooth?
It was like, and then I was like to his son, Jake. Jake came on our bus one day, and I was like, dude, do you remember PCU? Like, who
Fucking-
doesn't remember
that was
PCU?
amazing.
It was like slapping
With
a
Jeremy
row of
Piven?
refrigerators at Best Buy.
What's that?
With Jeremy Piven?
Well,
The
I'm-
movie with Jeremy Piven, PCU.
fucking
That's
PCU is
amazing.
one of the best movies ever.
Exactly. And he's
Yep.
like, swirly.
Can you blow me where the Pampers is?
Yeah.
Can you blow me where
Exactly.
the Pampers
Yep.
is? You know? So it's like, and I referenced that to him, and then I was like, oh, the Frighteners, because I'm a big horror movie
yep.
junkie. So he was like, yeah, and I was like, dude, the Frighteners. Like, I was like nerding out, but like, you know, that's where we got the name of the band from. So we're like, Iwrestledabearonce. Well, let's just keep it together because it's so goddamn long if you space it out.
My favorite Gary Busey quote though is when he's like, "You need to treasure every moment because it's a gift.
It's a gift.
That's why they call it the present."
Well, we actually have like an old
That's a
home
fucking
video.
fantastic fucking Gary Busey fucking
He says
impersonation
the
right there.
craziest shit. Like the shit that he told me was crazy as shit. He also was
Oh,
slapping my ass at like the, it was like this, it was called like horror shock or whatever. It was in
He should've
Worcester.
Name something.
And,
I
like-
died in a pool once.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's talking about bears spitting on him and him touching the bear sexually, and I'm just like, whoa, dude. This is why you're my hero. This is why you fit this band.
He's out of his fucking mind, but I love. But you can't.
But he's a good
not,
crazy.
You can't not love the guy.
He's good
Yeah.
crazy.
It's a good. I like that. Good crazy.
Yeah, he's a good crazy.
It's
Yeah.
not like Danny Bonaducci crazy.
No,
you know what
yeah,
I mean? Like,
yeah.
he's
No.
just fun crazy.
Well, you look at Danny Bonaducci, like if I touch him, I might get syphilis.
Yeah.
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 He's not like serial killer crazy,
Yeah.
but maybe a little borderline serial killer crazy.
Like I watched a show about Danny Bonaducci, and I want to go down a gallon of vodka.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
It's okay because he's gonna outdrink you with bleach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a
And
band
Alan
named Danny Bonaducci.
Yeah.
I know there's the Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza or
Yeah.
something like
Right.
that.
Yeah, they were an amazing band.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing band.
Fucking crazy. It was spastic. You know, good shit. But
And you have like Ed Gein, who are like straight grindcore.
yeah,
Really?
You know?
I never heard that, Ed Gein.
Oh, there, you should. Okay, show him Ed Gein later on
I'll
or
do
tomorrow.
that.
All right.
I'm gonna show him
Number
Nazem
12.
too.
Number
The
12
number
looks
12
like
looks
you.
like you. All of this, you know,
I'll show
everything
him.
is no space
See,
bars.
like this is all, the funny thing is when Brad came along, this is all music that I do like, but I just never ventured out into looking at it. And Brad's just like, check this out, and I'm like, wow, that's fucking awesome. Then wow, that's fucking awesome. You know, and like we went to Slayer and saw Cannibal Corpse and Amon Amarth came on, and I was like, holy shit, Amon Amarth. I immediately fell in love with that band.
Well, I
mean,
know,
different
and you
stuff.
kept annoying me because I was singing my Viking shit and you had nothing else to add.
Yeah, yeah. And I was just like, this is fucking fantastic. But it's always been stuff I liked. But like I said, I grew up with a group of friends where we were just driving in each other's cars. It was like, you know, pop the Slayer CD in and just let it keep
Shut
playing.
your face. You didn't have CDs in your car. You
No,
had
it-
cassettes,
it
you
was a
old
cassette-
motherfucker.
It was a cassette player.
And eight-track.
It was a
Here's the
cassette player.
eight-track.
He had a
Yeah.
Fisher Price turntable.
I did.
You had the 8-track. You couldn't turn it up too loud because you would hear the tracks on the other side playing if it was too loud.
I did.
Yeah.
But I did in
Old bastard.
metal fashion. I took out a fucking. My buddy had a fucking Guns N' Roses CD that he would fucking play over and fucking over. And he had one of those tape. It was a fucking car stereo that would flip the tape automatically.
Ooh.
So
Did it have
just-
a removable
so-
faceplate too?
Yeah, it would just fucking.
I gotta
keep
go to
playing.
gym class. I'm taking my stereo face with me.
So I had my fucking Slayer cassette in my pocket, and I'm like, let's listen to this. He's like, later.
Did you have bass boost?
And yes, it had bass boost.
It
And
was like,
Watch this.
that button
Yeah.
was instant Dre Beats.
Yeah,
Boom.
it's instant. And I
Fucking
had a
Dre
fucking.
Beats mode.
Have you ever heard paper blowing in the wind? Check this out.
Right. Yep. But we were on the highway, and I fucking hit eject, and that fucking stupid ass fucking Guns N' Roses fucking cassette popped out, and I grabbed it and threw it out the fucking window. I immediately chucked it out the window and then popped in the Slayer CD. I'm like, Slayer cassette. So, and I'm like, this is what it was to. Fuck that. I had a habit of throwing shit out of my friends' cars.
Oh, you're the
And
worst.
actually, I just recently did it on a fucking ferry. My buddy kept playing listen to this song. I'm like, that song sucks. Listen to this song. I'm like, no. I hit the eject button and threw his fucking CD off of the boat, so he couldn't even try to play it for me
So
anymore.
right now the CD is somewhere in Long Island Sound.
Yes.
Yes, Long Island Sound represent.
Oh, God damn it.
Sure.
Yeah, the fish just got cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know those
The
ones
fish
that
are fucking
relocated.
jamming. They're like head banging and shit. God
Yep.
only knows all those like sunken ships in the fucking sound, you know?
They're not as cool as the sharks that rocked out to Kiss in the fall, but
Yeah.
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 Sand sharks.
All right, I'm gonna go off script real quick. Name 3 bands each of you listen to. Go.
right now.
Like
What?
current bands.
Like
what's that
bands
band
that you
we got
think
into?
we should listen
Oh,
to.
Silent Planet. Silent
Yeah.
Planet.
Silent Planet is a
Amazing.
both.
Amazing.
If you've never heard them, you
Hear me, bro.
should. What are you doing with your life?
Beer me, bro. Thank you.
Beer her, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
I
hearing
said this
her.
is how we talk to each other. We're in a relationship.
Yeah.
not beer.
Yeah, bro.
I'll kick you
Yeah,
in the
bro.
face.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
bro.
go home. I'm gonna go
Goddamn
home tonight and go
fish.
beer me, bro, to my wife, and I'm gonna get hit.
Yeah.
And I'm
How
gonna
about
hit
this?
Hard.
Today when I was leaving,
This is why you need to be best friends with your future, you know, like your future, your sexual man here.
I'm gonna go home and tan my dick.
That's the secret, my friend.
You'll get
That is
some more
the
muff.
secret.
me and my wife have been married for 18 years. Right?
See,
You're going to ruin
So,
the mood right now. Go ahead.
I walk out today. Every day, she fucking says to me, "Oh, shut the light off in the hallway. Shut the light off." I always
She
leave
doesn't
the light
want to
on.
see your stupid
Right?
face.
So I walk out today, right before I leave to come here. I walk out and I leave the light on. She goes, "Did you forget something?" And I turned around quick and I said, "No." And I clicked on it. I said, "I was just testing you." And she goes, "Testing me for what?" I said, "To see if you were still a bitch."
What was her answer to that?
So, needless to say, Craig's sleeping on my couch tonight.
Then I tried to high five her.
Like, ha, I got you.
Yeah. No, not
No.
working. Yeah. No.
yeah.
Nope.
It didn't work.
You're gonna be in the doghouse
Yeah,
all
yeah.
weekend. Just letting you know.
But yeah, I'm just gonna tell you right now. All you guys gotta do is just tan your dick
Yeah.
and then throw out like the just
I'm
random.
I'm going on
nobody
Amazon.
look.
Nobody
looking for
looked.
the-
Nobody
Tanner.
look
And then you have,
and pull your pants down.
and then after
And whoever
how many
looks,
years later?
and whoever looks,
Yeah.
like about 5 years later,
And then you
Yeah.
call
You'll
them
do
a
it.
girl or kid or dude.
All right, so
How many
2
times
other
you call
bands.
them a dude?
okay. So,
Silent
Tan your
Planet.
dick.
Yeah, oh,
We're really into right now. What's that another band with Thornhill? Is that what they're called?
yeah, the Thornhills band we've been
Yeah,
listening to.
really fucking good. Besides their like new metal parts, they have like these new
No,
metal.
that's
like,
not them.
No, that's not them. What's that band that's like, oh shit, we do, I'm like, all right.
that sounds like the remix of Aladdin.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like Jafar.
There's a band called Time, The Valuator that are really good. Kind of oh man, what is that? It's like progressive metal.
Okay.
That's kind of
What about that
that's what I've
one
been
band
into
that like
these
we
days.
really like? That chick that like we say is like kind of like our song, you know?
That's Time, The Valuator.
No,
No, wait.
honey, it's not.
Okay,
It'll
Oh,
be-
wait a minute.
Thank you, piece of shit.
Oh my god.
oh.
Oh.
High
This
five.
is just how we talk.
High five. See,
You see it?
they
Oh,
get
you
high
see
five.
that?
I didn't get shit.
Oh
See
my
that?
God, are we witnessing couples counseling?
I just
What
got
is this?
I got a dirty
No,
look.
see, here's what happened. She started it.
Yeah.
If Fran started it, you'd have gotten a high five.
yeah, that's it. All right.
Yeah.
there you go.
She started it. He still wants to get in there. She can withhold. She has
Women's
hand.
be shopping. Women's be shopping.
See, she starts it. I
Yep.
say high five. She high fives, and we all good.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
It's like Seinfeld. She has hand.
Exactly.
Seinfeld was ahead of its time in so many ways.
What about
Right.
that song about like,
Okay, but refresh
with the
my
chick singing Paris?
memory. Yeah,
Paris.
not metal at all.
Not metal at all, but they're like electronic.
But it
But
looks
it's
like
very.
it looks like
It's kind of like Stabbing Westward meets like
pop music.
pop music.
Yeah.
So like Stabbing Westward from
And-
then the 90s.
And it looks like Paris because it's
Paris.
P, it's
you know,
P,
it's Paris.
So like they're like from
It's-
St. Louis.
It's
Yeah.
P.
Paris.
It's
Paris.
PVRIS.
Gotcha.
Okay.
We like that too.
Pervs.
Pervs. Oh,
Motherfucking Purvis.
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 Pervs.
Purvis.
Purvis.
All right,
Let me
but
see your
it's
goddamn
still kind of
Purvis,
hard
girl.
music, right? You say
Yeah.
electronic, it's still got a kind of hard vibe. The only
Okay.
question I had, and then we're gonna move on. We have something planned for you guys, but the one question oh yeah, no,
Surprise.
yeah, a little bit of a surprise, but I do want to get this question in. If you guys could plan your dream tour with Empyrean Lights, okay, knowing what you guys sound like and knowing what fans of I Wrestled a Bear Once would expect, what do you think your dream tour would be?
Let's say like what, 2 or 3 bands?
Yeah, let's call it 2 or 3.
We can take 2 or 3 bands, but can we open?
It's whatever you want. You're
Whatever
on
you
tour
want.
with 2 or 3 bands.
Let's
Who are
just
they?
assume you guys are going to be as successful as you
Deftones,
deserve
so I
to
can
be.
just stare at Chino all
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Deftones. All right.
Really?
All right.
I love
I'd
Deftones,
open for
Really?
Deftones all day,
and I
every
have
day.
a big thing for Chino. And I'm not into Hispanic men, but I am
But you like
Chino.
dark things, so that makes sense.
I do like that
She does call me Chino.
on a daily basis. When I look at it, I'm like, oh, Chino.
I'm like,
Does she
Bring it
scream
to
out
me.
more, Ano?
Yeah.
Oh,
she screams out, "Roll the window down!"
hey, that was a horrible high five. Again.
Okay.
There you go. All right. So Deftones are 1. Give us 2 more.
All right, so that's yours, Deftone.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie Nicks.
Why not?
She's, like,
I
she's
know.
got plenty of cocaine. We're good.
We're good. We'll bring all of our friends.
Yeah.
Yes, listen.
Man,
See, these are like the hardest questions.
Yeah, those
to
are
ask.
tough.
Yeah.
Those are tough
Yeah.
because we get it. They're tough. But we want your answer.
Yeah.
yeah, I totally am fine with that. I think in my mind,
Just
like
say
thinking about it, I would want it to be like a wide-ranging
Yeah.
tour
Yeah.
package.
Yeah.
Something
You know?
All
that's
right.
not like.
It's a festival.
Oh, there
A
you
touring
go.
Right.
festival.
So I mean, if it can only be like 3 other bands, I'd be like, well, I'd want it to kind of like run the gamut because
Yeah.
I want, even
Diversity.
when even when I was like, a metal kid, like I wish somebody
still
would have been
listen to
like, hey
everything.
man, don't just listen to that. Listen
But-
to some other good
Well,
stuff. Let me
I've
educate you
always
a little
listened
bit.
to everything.
Yeah.
Exactly, because I have too.
I was raised by like a jazz musician,
That's how I
big
went
band
through.
musician, and then
So
Jethro Tull and like fucking, Queen,
so I guess that's a good
and
question.
Zeppelin.
Do they have to be a current
and then like
band?
No.
Green Jelly.
No, no.
So-
Whoever you
Dream
want.
Tour.
Oh,
Dream
okay.
Tour.
Dream-
Dream being the operative
Green
word.
Jelly. Green Jelly.
Then I would say, definitely probably Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
Oh
Fuck
my
yeah.
God. One
My
of my
mom-
fucking favorite bands of all
Okay.
times.
Can I just let you know my mom is obsessed with Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull.
I met him.
She wanted to name my brother Ian
met
Anderson.
him?
Yeah,
Cameron.
I met Ian
And she
Anderson.
met them.
I
My
met
mom
Ian
was this
Anderson.
close to him. She's like, I almost touched it. And I was like, you mean him?
Yep.
And she didn't correct you and say, no, it.
No, he is
She
the
went. She saw him
scariest.
at the Beacon Theater.
He is the scariest under the fucking bridge looking troll guy you'll ever fucking meet in your life.
Yeah.
But he was a very nice guy, and Brad can say I'm a fucking huge Jethro Tull fan.
Honestly,
I've
that's
always
like
been.
if that's how it is. And I told my mom, it's like, because of you listening to Jethro Tull, I was able to be in Iwrestledabearonce because I was hearing it all the time, and their time signatures, and they're ahead of their time.
They were fucking incredible.
Incredible band.
You know what, like, really bothers me still, though?
Oh, God. Stop.
Don't stop. Go.
That
Continue.
was not fucking expected.
You know what really bothers me, though? Is that people still think Jethro Tull was just another member of the band.
Yeah. Like Leonard Skinner. Like people think like, yeah.
Dude, my mom, she does this thing with her flute. My mom plays flute.
That's
flute
awesome.
too. And she like
Skin flute.
she does this like Ian Anderson stance, with her leg up.
Yep. Yeah.
And she calls him Ian Baby.
Ian Baby.
Oh.
I saw Jethro Tull probably, I would say, 1987.
You are
Wow.
At the Providence,
Okay.
at the Providence Civic Center.
These motherfuckers were barely born.
Yeah.
Okay, in 1987, I was born in 84. My first concert was actually at Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
And the thing about Jethro Tull is that like they are really ahead of their time,
Yeah.
and like I always said that. Like my mom was so obsessed with them, and I even like there's a song from Iwrestledabearonce where I actually reference one of Ian Anderson's the way his like vocal arrangement is, because it was very, very fast, and I was like,
Yep.
oh, this sounds like songs from the Wood, like this is very, very Ian Anderson. And I told my mom this, and she was like, oh my God, I knew it, because my mom loves to hang out and drink and shit. They have a bar downstairs, all
Nice.
Yankeed out, Jets out, and my mom's like, it's all about fucking Ian, baby. It's all about Ian. I was like, Mom, let's sit here in the jukebox. So they have a jukebox downstairs in the basement. It's like, let's do the time signatures and play along with it. And me and my mom were doing it together, and it was like
That's
really
awesome.
fun. She's obsessed with Jethro Tull.
So your mom has a bar and a jukebox in the basement?
So my mom and my dad in Long Island, my stepdad, they have a bar downstairs in the basement, and it's old New York Yankees and the Jets bathroom. And the Jets bathroom has a.
That makes sense. It's where all the
So
shit
it's
goes.
half and half. So it's an equal balance of losers and winners.
Yeah.
Can I say this?
When you sit down,
When
you're
the
sitting
fun
on
drinks
Mark
with the
Sanchez's
Yankees.
face.
The
have,
awful shit with the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They have
No, when you sit down, you're sitting on Mark Sanchez's face like he just ran into the
They have a urinal with Tom Brady's face as the urinal cake,
Yep.
I bet
That's
Giselle
great.
pisses on him. That makes
I
sense.
And then
love that.
everything is like New York Yankees. So they have like a pinball down there. They have a bar. They have a fucking beer pong table that my stepdad custom
That's
built.
fucking
Can I
awesome.
say
They're
this?
partiers.
Can I ask you this? Your dad's house has a urinal?
My stepdad, yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
I've wanted a urinal in
And
my
an
home
old
since I
and
bought one.
an old New York telephone booth.
No shit.
Oh my God.
It does.
So
Yeah.
the next time you come up, can you call us like ahead of time? Can we just meet there?
Yeah.
Next time, yeah, sure.
And we'll
That
do
sounds
the
good.
show there.
When are we coming
We'll
up?
meet at the bar. We'll put
Yeah,
on
when are we
Jethro
coming
Tull,
up?
and then
Yes.
we're thinking about coming up and going up to New York in August. So to Long Island. So I'll
fuck.
call you from there. My mom will join,
So-
and she'll be talking Jethro Tull with you 24/7.
Look, I promise
Patrick
you,
Gooey,
I
baby.
promise you that your date with Matt will be topped with me.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna take you out to Montauk Point.
Right?
Okay?
We'll look
They
at some
get some
stars.
Montauk.
And I don't have to look at a glowing one. Right?
And if you want to make
That's
it
the thing. There's so
authentic,
much smog, you can't see anything.
Yeah.
Then when you least expect it, I'm gonna whip my dick out.
Yeah.
And you're not even gonna know it.
and if you want to
It's
make it
real
authentic,
dark.
the urinal and the phone booth will smell the same.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
All right, so we wanted
Well,
to do something with
well,
you guys.
we have to do one more band.
Oh,
We've
yeah,
been-
that's right.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah,
That's
this
right.
has
So
to be. This has to be
Deftones, Jethro
suitable.
Tull, and
Because you did one, I did one. Now we
Oh,
have
yeah.
to pick one together.
Tears for Fears.
I can- I can go with
Daryl Hall.
Oh, shit.
that.
Daryl Hall.
Tears for Fears. Tears for Fears.
Tears for Fears. All right.
Or Hall and Oates.
Hall and Oates.
I think you should just do oats.
They can haul their oats somewhere else.
I think seriously, if we're gonna take a modern band, I would probably want to take Tesseract.
Oh, she's
Okay.
not quite on board.
I'm like, I had to put this vape down. I'm like, okay, I see that. Yeah.
She's not objecting, but she thinks there's a
Not
better
objecting.
option. I can see it happening.
Right?
So I just said if we had to take a modern band,
A modern man. Yeah.
like a currently, actively writing and putting
Yeah,
out stuff
okay.
band.
Yeah, I see that.
All right, so
Brad's squeezing back in. We had a lot of rolling going.
Yeah.
And
all right,
when-
so they came up with Tesseract. Was their third band, modern band?
Dude, seriously progressive, heavy. Fucking,
There you go.
that's
There
a
you go.
fucking killer tour. I would love to see Tesseract, Tears for Fears, but I
and
don't know.
Jethro Tull.
Yeah, I'm not sure who opens though.
We would open.
Yeah,
would
we got
Bullshit,
open.
you
Yeah,
would.
no.
I'd put you ahead of Tears
Yeah.
for Fears in a country mile.
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
you guys
Okay,
gave us
so
2
Tears for
songs,
Fears,
and I'm a
us.
fan.
Tesseract and then Jethro Tull.
I'm in there. I'm watching that show.
All right, but I'm leaving after you guys. That's just
what?
where I'm at.
You fucking
That's what
No,
we're
like-
playing first.
I'll stay, hoping they introduce me to other people.
Yeah.
I'll be that guy.
Yes, exactly.
That's
So
fair.
we'll make sure and be like, guys, just stick around. The rest of the package is amazing.
Yep.
Don't leave.
Tesseract's
We-
great
we
shit.
will.
Do you guys like Periphery?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Very cool. Very cool.
Inside
stand.
talk.
Okay, no, this is all getting cut out. It doesn't
No, it's
matter.
not.
No.
I'm just, you know what? I don't get to talk to too many bands I fucking like, so let me have this.
All right, so let's give you guys a couple more warm up questions before we have a game planned for you guys.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Quit. It'll be.
Okay.
So
It'll be quick because they want to
let's-
get going too.
Yeah. Let's.
No,
we're fine.
We're
No,
fine.
we're
We'll
good.
give
We
you a
have
couple more
nothing
little.
to do.
We'll give you a few more warm ups.
What's the matter? Matt and Kayla's screaming kids not enticing you to leave?
They're asleep.
They're in the
Everybody's
background like,
asleep.
"Hey, Dr. Pimple Popper's on. Are you gonna watch it?"
Kayla, cut what is turning into a mullet.
So shave Matt's head. Is that what you're saying?
Matt just got a haircut, and
No,
so
he-
did James.
Listen. James, Matt has to stop looking like a combination of Paul Rudd and James Vanderbeek at the same time.
Oh, it does look like Paul Rudd. I've been trying to put my finger on it.
He looks like Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
Paul
Paul
Rudd
Rudd
and James
never
Vanderbeek.
ages.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd never ages. He's an
Vander
alien
Rudd.
race.
Like-
He's an alien race.
He's Matt Vander Rudd.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Vander Rudd.
It's funny for the 5 of us, but no one else thinks it's
Yeah.
funny.
No. But
I don't want to
we'll
wait
post a picture of him.
for this haircut to be over.
Like, if I could describe Matt's hair, it would just be Virginia.
Yeah.
Like that's it looks like how you would envision like a colonial enlisted man.
Yeah.
Just rusty scissors trying to cut through nappy hair. That's what it looks like.
I love you, man. I want to be really clear. I love you.
Hurry, the British are coming. Cut through that last knot.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh, fuck him. I love you, Matt.
Matt is just being just.
He's
Matt, I love
I know.
you.
I do this because he won't fight back.
Yeah. Until you're sleeping.
That's right. That's right. Anyway, all right. So a couple warm-up questions.
All right.
If you guys could work with one musical artist, whether it's recording or go on tour, whether they're still around or not, who would it be? One person. I'm sorry, she's still laughing about the
band,
nappy, naughty redneck hair.
She
Poor
is.
man.
She is. She's broken for a moment. I'll do the thinking for us right now.
It doesn't look bad though. That's a thing.
No,
It doesn't-
but you didn't say it looks good.
Yeah.
They could never hear this podcast.
Oh, you were sending it to him immediately.
All
Okay.
right. Yeah, no.
Can you ask
Pick.
the question again?
Yeah, no. Pick. If you could pick one artist, whether they're still alive, around, or not, who would it be if you could work with them?
What do you mean by
Oh.
work with them?
So
Neil
you
Peart.
could record.
Collaborate.
Yes,
Collaborate.
guy.
A collaboration.
You could
Just
record a
collaborate,
song,
okay.
songs, whatever. Yeah, let's say you can record one song with a band or artist.
Daniel
Around now or
Johns,
not, who would it be?
So I can stand, so I
Yeah.
can look at him.
Daniel
Daniel Johns,
Johns.
so I can just stare at him and drool.
All right.
Neil Peart. Rest his goddamn soul.
Oh, God bless.
I would love to have Daniel Johns collaborate on a song
Yeah,
for sure.
Daniel Johns. For
Or
sure.
Neil Peart.
Neil
I would
Peart.
love to have Neil Peart drum on a song.
Oh shit.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But he can't because he goddamn in the ground.
He dead.
He dead.
He's 6
Yep.
feet under.
Would you do vocal trade-off with Annika?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I follow her on Instagram and I see that she does these like Sundays with Annika,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, oh man, she's just like she's just so like it makes my day. I'm like, I have to go to work at Dunkin' Donuts for 7 hours, and here she is. I'm like, oh, it's my girl.
All right, so let's flip it. Let's flip it.
Monica.
If you can make one musical artist disappear right now, who would it be?
Scott Stapp from Nickelback.
Scott Stapp from Nickelback. I love that.
Which is two answers in one, but we'll take it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And I
Not a
said
correct
not
answer
from
at
Nickelback.
all.
I mean, and Nickelback.
Oh,
Yep.
so it was a
In a
two-part answer.
combination.
Okay. All right.
That's fair.
Because they're the same, like, beer.
It's the
Yeah.
same
I got-
butt rock sound.
I got
And that's the thing. It's like I feel like they get it from Bruce Springsteen, and I don't want to fuck with the boss, you know. But like, because he
Which
represents
is who
Jersey,
you
which is
referred to
like
me as
where
when I was
people can't fucking like
Well,
people from Jersey are just people who can't make it in New
well,
York.
not only that.
Wow. Wow. Fuck New Jersey, she said.
By the way, these arms up, that's no accident. God bless you and everything you stand for.
Yeah.
By the way, the
Yeah.
Jets and Giants both play in New Jersey.
Yeah.
It's because the rent's
They
cheaper.
do. The Jets and the Giants is literally New Jersey because there's no fucking room in New York.
No.
That's fair.
They're like,
Yep.
let's build
I thought
Yankee
it was because they both
Stadium.
speak.
Dave, I think it's time.
It's
let's,
probably time.
Let's play the game.
All right. So,
All right.
so here's what we have in store for you guys. Each of us came up with a few questions to ask you, kind of like rapid fire, and you get points for correct answers. You get partial points for partial correct answers. If they're incorrect, you get no points. And there's a prize that we'll tell you about after we play the game.
All right.
So it's kind of like the dating game, but we're calling this the hating game because that's what we do in this
Okay.
show.
Are we a team or?
Are we
Yeah.
separate?
You guys
Yeah,
are
you guys
answering
are a team.
together. But here's the thing.
Take one in a row.
Yeah. When we throw the question out,
right here.
we
Okay.
don't want you guys spending too long thinking about it. We want like quick answers.
Just quick.
Okay.
All
Right?
right. All right.
You guys ready?
Making my game face on.
Oh,
We're
game
both pretty
yeah.
competitive.
All right, so ready? You got to center yourself.
Yeah.
All right. Craig's got the first few questions. Go for it.
Finish these lyrics. So I took a big chance at the high school dance with the missy who was ready to play. Knew what she was doing, knew who she was fooling, and she told me to.
So I took a big chance with a Missy who was ready
Yeah.
to play. It was me she was fooling because she knew what she was doing. Taught me how to.
This is an Aerosmith song.
Yeah. Walk this way.
Yeah, it's Walk This Way.
Talk this way.
No, sorry, the actual correct answer would have been hell no, this interview is over, we're done.
Sorry.
Okay, partial credit, please.
We get partial credit.
Partial credit?
Partial credit.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, let me mark that down. Okay.
Yeah, partial credit.
All right, no. Oh,
He has to write it down.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to write this down.
he's
Yeah.
actually taking notes.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to write this down. All right, go ahead.
All right, no, Dave, you're up.
All right, so the next question. If Green Day died in a tragic plane accident, like Buddy Holly, Frankie Valance, and the Big Bopper, what color decorations should we put up for the celebration?
Green.
Yes, that is correct.
All right. Yes.
That is correct.
There we go.
All right, Brad.
All right. What is the one Kiss song that isn't a complete musical abortion?
All of them.
I
of
said
them are
there isn't
musical
one.
abortions.
We would have also accepted Beth.
Yeah.
All right.
I get the sense you were saying they're all a musical abortion. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're going to hug it out.
Oh, yeah. All right, Craig.
What is Rick Savage, the drummer of Def Leppard, missing?
His arm.
No, talent was the
Yeah.
acceptable answer.
Yeah.
We're going with talent. Yes.
We're going with talent. Sorry, you got one wrong.
All right, good job.
Yes.
I was like, look, whatever.
He
Who
said
is it?
talent.
Who are you?
Oh, did
I
he
did.
say
Yeah, Dal said talent.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
Oh, give him the point.
Yeah, he said talent.
Give him the point.
All right, the next question. Would you sign a petition to ban Imagine Dragons from being referred to as musicians?
Yes.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, that is correct. Outstanding. All right, my next question. If we put Chris Cornell, Anthony Bourdain, and Chester Bennington in a band, what style of music would they play?
B should be. They'd be like, brah, brah.
No, the answer is
Death metal.
Yes!
Yes!
Yes, it is death metal.
Technically, it was
How are you
predictable,
Because they're
cliched death metal.
Oh, I get it.
But
They're
yeah.
funny.
Dude, they are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's working.
Fucking on point. Outstanding.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, Craig, you're up.
All right. My last
That's why we're
question.
together.
Yeah.
My last question is: Rage the Machine sang about rallying around the family with a pocket full of shells.
Yeah.
How many shells constitutes a pocket full of shells?
Probably 6.
Nope,
Well, it
sorry. The
depends
answer
on
was
what kind of gun.
5. It was 6, but fucking Kurt Cobain took one.
Wow.
Bang
God damn.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's
This
fucking
is
quality. That is fucking
Life
quality.
Oh my God. I can't follow that with my questions.
But do it anyway.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Oh. All right. So, what genre of music would you classify the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Terrible.
I will accept that.
Yeah.
I will accept that because the official answer is fraternity vomit rock, but we'll accept terrible. Yes,
Yeah.
excellent. Who is the most overrated band ever?
Fucking hell. What is something we hear on the radio all the time?
5 seconds.
For the record, we already named them.
Oh, you already named them?
We did.
Most overrated band ever is
In my
Ozzy
opinion.
Osbourne.
what's that?
Ozzy Osbourne.
I would say Queen, even though I love them.
Wow.
Wow, I will accept
dude,
that. I'll give
I'll
that
accept
partial
those.
credit. I'll give him partial credit for that. Those are good.
Okay.
I wanna know your answers.
I did have one more question.
So hold on before we get
No,
to the
no,
question.
I want to know the answers.
No. I want to know your justification for Ozzy and Queen. Why are they overrated?
Because they take Freddie Mercury, his poor soul, and his beautiful man, and they take it and they just put it in everything. It's like they take "We Will Rock You" and put it in everything, and it's
Football
like
stadiums everywhere. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
No,
All right.
I'm behind
they
that
don't
100%.
even get it. They don't even get it.
He was
They don't
behind it
even get
100% too.
No, he was.
But Queen
He was
is
in front of it.
everywhere. Queen is literally everywhere. You know, like,
Okay.
and that poor motherfucker's gone. He's done. He's dead. Dead. My
Yep.
son is dead.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Adam Lambert isn't.
No,
No.
not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He's definitely gonna get the
He's
AIDS
working
too.
his way towards it.
Yeah,
working on it.
he's gonna get the AIDS himself. No.
And I don't really have a good justification for Ozzy Osbourne other than I watched his show when he was old, and all he said was Sharon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every episode. Sharon!
Yep.
I shit myself!
Like-
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's falling apart. He's falling into pieces.
He is.
All right. We would have
But,
accepted about 37 other answers that we don't have time to list right
So
now.
last question is if you had to buy Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay, a birthday present, what would it be?
Probably a puppy, because he just seems like he would coddle that shit and, like, you know, love it to fuck, and he'd be like singing songs about it while petting it,
Yeah.
and he'd be like, "Gwyneth left me.
All
Gwyneth left me. You are Gwyneth. You are Gwyneth."
I wish you were a candle
Yep.
that smelled like tuna fish.
Dan,
Yeah.
what do you what's your
A new voice.
close? I mean that's close, but the actual acceptable answers were rope or razor blades.
Yeah.
There you go. And I got a puppy, so he feels better about himself.
See, Chris was trying to prevent his suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to prevent his suicide by like actually making.
Well,
I was
Yeah.
I was moving it forward.
Craig was trying to
You were just speeding the process.
Yeah,
up.
yes, I was trying to get it underway.
Craig was trying to save a puppy.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to
but it-
save the puppy because it would have been in his
Martin
house.
does have a
He's
child.
dead. Now
No.
it's starving to death.
No
Nobody's
puppy
gonna-
wants to be depressed.
There's
Look at
nothing.
Frances B. Cobain. She has no idea what's going on in life.
Yes, exactly.
So that dad syndrome is not a good syndrome.
Exactly.
It's just being Coldplay.
I love
She's
hanging
like,
out
look
with.
at the picture of my dad. She just holds up a fucking thing of ragu. Like,
Yeah, exactly. With meat sauce.
Jesus
A ragu with meat sauce.
wow.
Shit just got real.
That was
He's
heavy.
broken. He's fucking broken. You guys broke him. You just broke him. That's just what happened.
I had one more question, but
It's
you
my
know what? I
dad
don't
with
even
yellow
want to do
police
it.
tape. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
I
no.
want it.
Listen,
No, I
this
want-
the results of this game hinge on this question.
Are you fucking kidding?
I'm
me?
taking score. You have to ask it.
All right.
Final question.
All right, I got to do this. You wrote an entire song about the sons of a sorcerer. What are their names?
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Son
Okay.
of a bitch.
Based on her fart mouth, that's not the answer.
Yeah.
Joel Olstein.
It's
Oh,
getting
shit.
worse.
Hold on. It's getting better.
You want me to get into the Christians? I will. I'm glad.
No.
I got into the Christians.
We
It's
have
from it's
so
from
many-
the story in the Bible.
Oh,
so many megabytes on this memory card. Go.
Well, we're back to Laramie.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're back to
so,
Laramie.
Yeah, so
Jesus.
Joel Osteen, we will
Jesus.
definitely give that one.
Blaming Jesus.
Got to make room for his teeth.
See, this is the hard part. See, I'm not religious, and he is.
He's the fucking Gary Busey of fucking religion.
I just pictured him and Busey fighting like fucking rams on a mountain, but with their teeth instead of their horns.
I just want to give them both sugar cubes and call it even.
With their tongues.
I can't think of the names of most of the people, but like
Joel Olstein is one of
any
them.
person who's been involved, like with the 700 Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right, so Pat.
Yeah.
All fucking Pat.
He was
fucking
sitting there
Pat.
by himself the whole time.
Just rocking.
And let's just go ahead and say the Pope.
Sure.
Right? Fuck that guy.
All right, I'm sorry. You know, I hate to tell you this because you guys got real deep, but no, it's Edgar and Clarence.
I don't even know who that is.
They are the sons of the sorcerer.
Yeah. We found out. We did some digging.
So
We're talking about Christianity here, and you guys went into.
yeah, we're talking about paganism. Sorry.
Yep.
So it turns out you guys missed the mark by about 2 points,
Oh.
which means you have to come back on the show another time and try again. Excellent.
man.
I don't know what kind of weird gang shit that was, but I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
That was
That's
badass.
that's the Butterfly Crusade gang.
Oh, shit.
That was like Houston Oz.
That's
That's
like
they call them the butts.
that's that's South Central McKinney. That's how they get dirty down
Yeah,
there in
oh,
Texas.
That's how we
That's
get
right.
dirty, because it's a family town. That's how you get dirty in McKinney.
You gotta have secret
well-
slang.
North
know what?
Dallas.
You know what we haven't done tonight? We haven't raised a glass,
We have
Yes.
not.
All right.
but I'd like
Well,
to do that tonight.
have
To
a-
Empyrean Lights
Empyrean
Yes.
Lights.
and to everybody involved, thank you for hanging out with us for what is going to turn out to be this entire episode.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We fucking love
Thank
you
you
guys.
for having us.
No,
Thank you.
Bang.
Thank you for cheersing
bye.
with us. Thank you for drinking
Have a
with
little
us.
bit here.
And thank you for being a part of this. We are going to turn this episode into something magical.
Yeah.
And we can't thank you enough.
I
for being a
disagree. They turned it into something
Yeah.
magical.
Absolutely.
Well, we're editing you out, so we're going to turn this into something magical.
We're magicians.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's just gonna be all you guys, and you're just gonna like cut in like sound bites of us answering questions.
No, it's
Oh, no.
probably
no,
gonna be the opposite.
It's probably going to be this whole interview.
Yeah.
No, it's going to most likely be a lot of it.
I do realize
Big
we
chunks.
kind of talked over you at the end, but it doesn't matter. The point is we got to meet you guys.
Yeah.
We got to meet you guys, and we're going to do this again.
Well, hopefully, like I said, or like Krista said, we're coming up to New York in August.
August.
That's what we're shooting for.
That's
so
what we're shooting.
Are you
That's
going to
our
play in
goal.
Patchogue?
Well, yeah, probably we'll be staying with my brother.
If you do that, let us know.
Yeah.
Because I'll drive
You
up
guys
there.
come on down.
Fuck,
I'll
it's a
drive
ferry.
on my-
It's a few
Well,
hours.
I'll
Fucking
drive-
ferry ride.
Drive down.
You just
I
take
keep
the
saying no.
Greenpoint
Yeah.
ferry.
Yeah.
It might be an acoustic show though, with Coldplay opening. So
All right, I'm out. Out.
We'll go to some bars.
My plan is coming together perfectly. I'll bring my knife.
Well, how about this? We go into Cherry Grove. Get some fucking what do they call
That's
those
good.
drinks I told
Then
you
you
about?
can wrestle a bear
Rocket
twice.
Fuel.
Rocket fuels.
Rocket fuel. Jesus. That's all we need.
No, but if you guys come up, it'd be a shame if you didn't let us know. It'll be awesome.
we will.
We will let you know.
If you guys are in
Because-
the region, we'll be there.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So
We'll
thanks
ask your
again. No,
wives if
thanks
y'all can
again, Daryl and Krista from Empyrean Lights. We missed Mim tonight. We wish he could join us.
Absolutely.
We're loving what you guys are putting out. We can't wait to hear what you have next. When you're ready to put something else out, let us know. We're all over it. But we'll do this anytime with you guys.
Absolutely.
So
This
the
was a
next
lot of
time
fun.
Matt and Kayla have date night and you guys want to call us, let us know.
Yeah.
And honestly,
We'll be
guys,
watching the kids.
if you guys want to put together the perfect tour, I'm the guy.
He probably is.
I got it all figured out.
He probably is.
No,
it's
seriously,
disgusting.
big fan of the music, past and present, and we thank you guys so much for being here tonight. To Empyrean Lights.
Empyrean
Empyrean
Lights.
Lights.
Thank you guys. We had a blast.
All right, man. I mean, that was our interview with Empyrean Lights, and it was fucking awesome.
It went better than we could have planned it.
We spent a lot of time with them.
What did we budget? 40 minutes?
And
Maybe.
it went, I mean, way over. So much fun.
We laid out a whole show after what we talked to them.
Yeah.
And we don't even need
and
it.
No,
we
we're not
don't
doing
need
it.
it.
We're not doing it.
No, we're not doing it. I mean, they were so much fun. I can't thank them enough for coming on. It was just a fucking
We
blast.
bow in the presence of
Yes.
your talent.
Yes.
And
If-
get me fucking tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah. We cower in their greatness, and thanks to Dan.
Yep. Yeah. we usually do a bright side at the end, and we thought, we had one planned, but then we're like, no, we got to keep along with the musical theme.
Right.
You know what I mean? We got to keep it going. So,
I actually got on Twitter this week.
oh,
And one of the things that jumped at me was people were talking about prequel bands.
yes,
And it was a funny concept. It was basically, imagine the best bands you know.
yep.
What would their prequels be?
What were they called before they were famous?
Before they were
Exactly.
famous, yeah.
All right.
And so I'll lead off. I said, instead of the Beach Boys, they were the Beach Fetuses.
Right? There you go.
I thought Slipknot would have been just loose string.
All right. I thought Kill Switch Engaged would have been Kill Switch standing by.
I really want to see a concert by Mildly Irritated by the Machine.
I talked about my guilty pleasure being Pink, but once upon a time she was just red and white.
Dude, 9-inch nails to just be 1/4-inch tacks.
I want everybody to get tickets to go see Perturbed.
Back in the early 90s, you could get down to Analog Above Ground.
Well, that's a lot of thinking going on.
That was a lot there. That was a Digital Underground joke. Yeah.
It was.
An area of loose, dry dirt, which is puddle of mud.
Okay, let's make this easier. I'm going to go with Motley Individual.
My favorite Seven Dust used to just be Foreskin.
And uneasy at the disco.
What about Huey Lewis and the Speculation?
How about Godsmack used to be Satan's Caress?
Wow, this is like biblical
Yeah.
implications here.
Blink 181.
Wait, one more.
Yeah.
What about Frankie speaks with the travel agent about a trip to Hollywood?
I started thinking about like Dr. Dre and Ice Cube and those guys, and I was thinking, oh, they used to be black guys being nice.
I was going to say, I also went the hip hop route and thought, pre-Malone.
So did I, and I went with Stroll DMC.
The last one I had was kind of in honor of our guest tonight. It was I slapped a raccoon twice.
Nice. All one word.
All one word, no
one
spaces.
No spaces.
Nope.
That's all I had.
Really?
Yep.
Close
you guys
us out,
go.
Brad.
Oh my God! I have two more. I had the felt her up under her sweater over her bra pistol.
Second base pistol. Yeah.
And then finally, Judas Seminary student.
Excellent.
And with that, we're going to wrap up another episode of Needless to Say. I want to throw a big old thanks to Empyrean Lights.
Goddamn yeah.
Roger that.
Hell yeah.
And on the side, I want to thank Iwrestledabearonce.
Yeah, as you
No,
know,
well,
Krysta,
yeah.
Krysta said it talking to us that there wouldn't be Empyrean Lights without our Wrestling.
Without, yeah.
You know what's amazing to me? What was kind of eye opening was bands like that. There's a lot of talent out there that you've never heard of.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I
yeah.
mean? So getting exposed to stuff like that, and you hear it, you're like, oh shit, this is really good.
90% of our outline did not get acknowledged.
No,
No,
I'm
and it didn't have to.
And that wasn't a bad thing. It was just I had so many questions for them.
No, we had a lot of fun tonight. One
lot
of
of
our
fun.
best guests we've ever had, and I think we rounded things up musically, and we got to close it out like we normally do. So, Brad, give us a little housekeeping.
All right. So I want you guys to go over to represent.com/store/NTS podcast. You find our merch there. There is nothing there that says Craig's a douche, but it's coming.
It's coming. Yeah.
We're waiting for him to write it out.
Yep.
If you catch us on Twitter, it's at NTS_podcast. On Facebook, NTS_podcast. And if you go over to Instagram, where Dave is absolutely fucking killing it. At all lowercase, needless to say, podcast. That's where you find us. And I got nothing else to say because these guys have just killed my spirit.
Endeavor Podcast Solutions. If you've got a podcast or you're looking to create a podcast, the place to go is EndeavorPodcastSolutions.com. Check them out. Dave, it's been a great night.
It has.
We had a lot of fun,
We did.
but it's over. Take
It
us
is.
out.
Needless to say, we said it.
Here it is, Empyrean Lights with their new song, This Avalanche.